edge of Klingon space. Dun dun
Oh.
dun. Oh wait, what? Hi. Oh, hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome. Hello, Stuart. How are you?
Good. I'm kind of sad. This is the finale, the very last episode of Trekyards ever. But
no. There'll be
what?
the eventual movie to come later.
Trekyards, the movie would be great.
Because of course that's the thing. Star Trek is one of the few franchises where you can come back in a long time. Because they did that. TOS, and then TNG came back with Picard, kind of, and then it's one of the few franchises that's like,
Okay. Well.
Extra media in a decade or two. They won't have aged a day in animated vibe.
Hopefully that's the case. Welcome back, guys. We're here to talk about the finale of Lower Decks. Not only the season, but the series. But that's fine. It's great. It's a great episode.
And symbolically, this is the end of the Prime Timeline visual continuity projects that are being made that we know of.
That's sad.
Yeah, of course, because now we're left with entirely Discovery-verse styling shows with Stranger Worlds and Section 31, and so there's this lovely middle bit of Lower Decks, Picard, and Prodigy is now finished. Of course, we've got Toy Newson's show, which we hope will be visually canon with the rest of Trek. But yeah, currently we have all modern Trek left, which is certainly sad. So another RIP where in this show we expect to see no birth, and looking correct, there's no question. Whereas in Stranger Worlds, we do not expect to see a ship looks to the right. It's always going to be different and changed and wrong in some way. So it's thank you, Mike, for giving us visual canon for another 5 years, at least keeping things going forward.
Indeed.
Have to get something else to take out the mantle.
Yes. Well, do you want to share this?
I do, but guys, put in your first thoughts. Subject your thoughts and such. I want to know. Throw them in. Start the prep thoughts, and I will share.
Do it. Super chat. You heard the man. It's a great way to support the channel and help us out and get your voice out there and have us interacting with you because we love you guys. We want to hear from you. So super chat in. Let us know your thoughts on this episode. By all means, there are 17 of you here. Hit that like button, guys. It's easy. Hit the like button. Helps us out immensely, more than you know. Share the video around. Do all the things that you need to do. There is also the option to join the channel. As you can see down there on YouTube, there is a join button. Or you can head on over to Patreon/Trekyards and support us over there as well, or instead of.
Hi everyone.
Alternately, different quantum reality over there on Patreon. I tell you what. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the final episode today. So do all the things, help us out, comment in the regular chat. We want to hear from you guys about this episode. What did you think about this being a season and also a series finale? I thought it was very well done personally, but hey. And yeah, we'll get to the meat of it as soon as Sam is done sharing. So also there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store. Go check it out. Get some Trekyards merch. This is the way. Mr. Wick, I know this episode is about Lower Decks, but I have a question about other Trek. Can you possibly help? That's what we do here. You can throw it in. This is the review of this episode, but if it's a quick answer, we can give it to you, hopefully, or our community can if we can't. So I like that they took a dig at Discovery being a different odds and reality. Fuck yeah, because it is. I've been saying it for years. The Discoverse made me smile when I saw that. Different quantum reality. Absolute goddamn lootly. But anyway. Well, it's Prime Timeline because they said so. It's not. Visually, it's quite obviously not. So, anyway. Don't mean to be mean. Anyway, yeah, we're going to get into all that and talk about this entire episode, break it down scene by scene as we tend to do here. So make sure that you hit the like button. 23 of you here now, 12 likes. Do it. Hit the like button. JJ verse and the Kurtz verse. I've never heard the Kurtz verse before, but that's funny. I have a question about Captain Sulu, Monster Maroon uniform. Do you know the order of his year's service pips and do you have any images or know where I can find some? Not quite sure about that. That's a good question.
Ooh, I like good questions.
Well, it's a non-lower decks question. I have a question about Captain Sulu's Monster Maroon uniform. Do you know the order of the year's service pips, and do you have any images or know where I can find some? I don't. There's lots of reference material for Kirk's, the way his service pips are laid out.
Well, we should follow a standard. It's military uniforms, so it should follow standard procedures. So,
no, the military pips or the years served, you can put on in any order you want. It's personal preference. So Kirk has his 5-year and his 1 year's kind of staggered.
That seems dumb and logical.
No, because it's visually you can tell how many years it is by the type of pip.
Yeah, so who cares then what order it is?
Well, that's why it's personal preference. You can put it in whatever.
Yeah,
order
so
you
it
want.
Doesn't matter.
But he wants to have a Sulu accurate one, is what he's asking.
Oh, well, I mean, Star Trek 6, 4K. I'm sure there's a shot of him. Don't trust flashbacks because the episode won't necessarily have an accurate version. Because, well, ironically, the XO6 just announced their version, and there might be a shot of his uniform on that with the pips visible. Ironically, they do try for accuracy, and they are very hard to get. But eBay has a couple of 3D printed versions. Classically search eBay, but there are a few places. Those pips are kind of like a little harder to get because they're hard. Maybe people do Monster Maroon because they're expensive and annoying.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But great, they're annoying.
So hope that helped, Mr. Wick. I'd just check Star Trek 6, try to get pause it on a good frame where you can see his sleeve, and you might be able to get the reference you're looking for.
There's definitely some shots of Sulu in 6.
Yeah, I don't know how easily you can see his service ranks.
I guess when you're me who tries to find the right frame, it's just sort of what you do, isn't it? But Stuart, welcome back to Lower Decks. Very hard to not spoil this in these thumbnails because every fun visual is a spoiler, but most fun visuals aren't big spoilers. So I use a heavily modified thumbnail for this to kind of I had to shrink the Cerritos pylons down to fit it in because it's very very widescreen that top of the thumbnail. It's very thin.
Mm.
So, Stuart, my friend, when the wonderful people out there tell us what they think, what did you think of Star Trek Lower Deck, Season 5, Episode 10, and how do you feel after multiple watches and discussion on my first reaction? I'm excited to know, and guys, do put your thoughts. We'd love to have you part of the conversation today. What do you think?
Absolutely fantastic. As an episode, as a series finale, as a season finale, it was just great. And I think it's one of my favorite episodes of Lower Decks. Definitely, well, I had this discussion last night. Is like episode 9 and 10 are both very good in their own unique ways. So as a whole, the two pieces together, I think, are really fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and on multiple viewings, it just gets better and better. You notice a lot more stuff. It is a dense episode, so when you watch it a few more times, you kind of know what to expect. It's better and better each time, in my opinion. It does kind of hit a little bit of a brick wall at the end and kind of slows right down, but I think that was good because it gave that stuff the time to marinate that it needed. But it felt tacked on, and that's fine because I think it probably was somewhat as to kind of give a closure for everybody. But no, I think it was a fantastic episode, and I'm looking forward to at the end of this scoring it. And yeah, it's so much to talk about. Plus, validating some of my beliefs for the past couple of years. So yeah, it's good. How about you, Sam? What did you think? And is it better on multiple viewings for you?
I mean, twice, so I just watched it the second time. It's quicker the second time. I think you realise in multiple viewings there's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Which is an interesting feeling because you can have a simple story told well. You can have a simple story that is hanging all of its potential on the legacy characters, the legacy aspect, or you can have it hanging on the tone, the feel, and the vibe. This feels, as the first thing I said to you yesterday, was it's incredibly dense, but it's incredibly dense with Lower Decks lore. It is jam-packed with characters. Now, most of them don't get much because we've got an entire crew of people who can utilise, but because you know them and feel like you know them, they all add something. It's not just officer, it's officer with backstory, and it feels bigger. And so the weight of the scenario, which is insane, and I appreciate they joked about, this is not a good mission for you guys, and literally Enterprise on her way, but it's further away than the death of the universe, so therefore you do it, and also Boimler. But the fact there was so much of the crew that we knew and felt we could rely on, etc., really made it feel cohesive and big. This is definitely as close to a movie as they could have got. If it was a movie, of course, it'd have more. It sounds more A-plot. The A-plot is this anomaly, but it isn't really. It's like it. You know what I mean? So it'd be more balanced in terms of mix. But this is kind of like a roller coaster ride, really, of a story, where it's about Lower Decks, our cast, our ship. As they even say very early on, close the anomaly is the easy bit. It's just a glue beam. They literally it's glues in the title, which is a funny joke in itself. But it's the journey to get there is the hard thing. And out of the Klingons is awesome. They're very generic Klingons. You're not going to remember her name even a week from now. But it's classic. It makes sense. It links to the previous canon of this show, so it works. It adds something. The ships are great. The battles are great. The vibe is great. I do think in the middle, there's a really odd juxtaposition. I thought you were going to say it in your intro. Like it's going all gung ho, pace wise, zip zap, and then suddenly, Ransom orders Boimler to go to navigation, even though he's already at helm, and he's more important that he's putting a hose on a dolphin than piloting the ship, because that's all he does.
It's a beluga whale, not a dolphin.
Exactly, like that's a more important job in a life or death piloting situation, is to make sure the whale is wet, and they're not doing anything that we can tell. So that was just to get him down there for Marin to bump into him. And that entire segment, I like Matt and whatever the guy's name, that entire bit was like a whole different episode, and it was badly paced and badly framed, and I don't understand any of it. There's no reason for anything to jump back into the bridge. And so that would cut straight out. That was not good. And it stands out really badly in the episode. But it's just to force the situation, right? How else are you going to have the confrontation if he's on the bridge? I get it, but it wasn't well thought out at all. But that's a small bit. It just really slows it down. And also the... Oh, there's another bit I just lost. Oh, yeah. And the Rutherford bit is incredibly out left field. He's aggressive from minute one. There's no build up to that at all. Just because in one episode he couldn't use a door is in no way set up. That's otherwise everything's set up that everyone says ever, and it's not. Mostly the throwaway. So his arc was entirely underdeveloped. He didn't feel like himself the entire episode until the last 2 seconds. So that was really whiplashy, and I think will feel as like random. It almost felt like suddenly Troy and Worf being a couple in the last episode of TNG. Like
a little bit. Maybe that's what they were trying to do.
Like, there's technically set up because he had a crush on one episode of Parallel Universe, technically, but that's a throwaway scene that could lead to... So that didn't work well second watch. It pays off well once you accept it, but it was not a good setup at all. So there's definitely some odd things, and the end is definitely strange. It's good strange, but it's strange. So it's a very dense, like there's so much going on that you can have a few bits like that doesn't work because then this works, this works, this concept, this like it's so like this must be one of the most dense like action per minute of any Lower Decks. Even if the story is like a single brief, gonna go close a space hole and Klingons attack. That's it. How do you feel about my feelings? So that was kind of my.
Oh, they're very interesting. Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying with the Kamulu and Matt scene.
Yeah. Very strange.
Yeah. The Rutherford thing, when you said the Troy and Worf analogy, I was like, oh, maybe that's why they did it, because it's kind of something in the last episode to kind of be a standout. Because that's exactly what Mike McMahon would do, is kind of like a tongue-in-cheek kind of nod. So I don't know. Yeah, that's interesting.
Just a bit confusing. In the first watch, you're like, it could go anywhere. Second watch, you know where it is or isn't going. I like him not having his implant, but he's always been super in love with it the entire franchise. That's been a defining characteristic. So to go from...
I also thought it was needed. It was required. Like, he couldn't...
Yeah, it was a life support mechanism because his brain was damaged. I guess not.
Yeah.
Even that's entirely what you said previously. Yeah, what happens to other him? Because the other him was kind of held in the processor of his brain, if you recall. Because he was a robot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess he's dead now. The young him.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? It was not set up in any way, and so therefore, honestly, it felt like they... I kind of get the sense... I don't know if they did reshoot anything or change anything, but it kind of felt like Mike had a very strong suspicion that this was not going to be a season 6. Like a very strong feeling, and so he wrote it as the very likely last episode, because you always tonally write stuff with an idea. And this wasn't open-ended and beautiful. It was very much... For me, it felt a very nice... Okay, we could end here and be logical, which is why it has a catharsis moment. And so having Rutherford's arc end really abruptly felt like we pushed him into a direction where, okay, now he's at peace. Problem is, he wasn't at chaos with his thing. So you kind of you skipped at least 2 seasons of arc with him. I don't know why, unless you always wanted him to be not robot, but he loved... Yeah. What did you guys think? Because it was definitely random.
Well, while you guys are typing that in, I have some super chats to read out.
Yes.
And also 35 of you here now, so hit like. We have 22 likes. Let's try to get those likes up.
Like right now. Click it. It's free. It's easy.
Obviously.
Do it.
But command line Vulpine.
Good to see you.
$5.
So much.
I feel like they made this episode for you guys. Ships, ships, and more ships. I'm going to miss Lower Decks. I thought the same thing when I watched it the first time. I'm like, do they really love us? Because they know that we watch their stuff, they watch our stuff. They either really love us or they really hate us, because they know it's going to create a lot of work for us, and that's fine. But
yeah, it was definitely one of those things where they went a route. It had to be a route that we like.
Yeah. And Ray Ricks puts in £50. Oh my God! Thank you so much.
Yeah, how much that helps. Thank you.
Lower Decks will always be fondly remembered. I love this episode, but some disappointment at the pacing of this session. I mean, session or season? Anyway, this was a nice final episode. It gave most of the characters a good ending. Hopefully, we will see some of these characters again. I'm sure we'll see some of them again. Absolutely.
We made a tremendous joke in our review that backhanded pilot, in a sense that if we Rutherford, then when he can appear in the live action touring show without the need to have makeup, which will save them money and time. Like, interesting idea, because you didn't need to have him lose the implant in that last scene. Like, he took it off, didn't remove it, as in the scene we saw him. He could easily have been... That could be next season's arc. So that almost felt like they changed that to kind of skip a season to kind of get him there for future appearances. Except, it was yeah.
Possibly, yeah. All right, wow.
Oh, I should do a poll. I'll let you talk about the intro, and then I'll write a poll.
Yeah, so it starts out with the edge of Klingon space. These couple birds of prey and a bigger bird of prey, which is a really cool design. We have a video coming out about it. Looks really good. Are patrolling. They're looking for enemy ships. We see a little Chihuahua version of the Targ, which is hilarious. The entire episode is like chewing and things and drooling and like all psycho. And we get this introduction to this female Klingon. Just right out of the gate says it. I mean, it's an alternate quantum reality. So I thought that was fantastic. We even see the bird of prey change to a Discovery bird of prey and then get destroyed instantly. And I was like, that is a great way to start an episode. What the hell just happened? And everything was out the window at that point, because literally anything could happen when you see something like that. It's like, what is going on right now? So yeah, it was a fantastic intro, and new ship, and yeah, this whole thing with the alternate quantum reality.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, I think that was one of the best cold opens I've ever done.
yeah.
And that feels like an easy one of the best. Because it was both ambitious, it was epic, it was paced really well, it was surprising, it was direct. I don't feel like waste any time, which they have a habit someone's doing of not making them the A-plot prevalent in the story. Great new Klingon ship, great new Klingon bridge. Got a baldish Klingon, which is kind of fun. To the right, the dog is plays no part in the story, but it adds a bit of extra texture, which is effort. I love it, and like I say, it's the Chihuahua Targ. Yeah, and another female Klingon captain, always nice. Although no boob window, she is boob window-less.
I was, first time watching, I'm like, where's the boob window? Come on.
But this was actually better seen second time, because in the first version watch it, you could think they'd throw away characters. So second time, like, oh, this actually our villain and her ship. But I like the fact that we're very much at peace with Starfleet. And she's like, oh, this is boring. Let's go attack him for lols because it's fun. Like that, I like that. It felt very in keeping with a pissed Klingon whose family's being dishonored, and I liked the simplicity of it. It's very much Star Trek 5, and it's just like effort.
Yeah,
it causes chaos because bored. And it's hell to your honor if you don't cause chaos. Well, she has no honor. Faking transmissions. What a dick.
Ray Ricks throws in another £5. Love the Disco Klingon. Disco is alternate reality. Take that, Kurtzman.
I mean, that's what it seems to say. And it's a really great transformation as well. Really artistically done. And a great looking Discovery Klingon.
Yeah, and the fact the ship, too. Like, the ship is spot on. And it's like, yeah.
I don't think it's scaled right, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, well. Aussie, though, with $5. I thought it was a little pug. Starbase 80 at helm was Harry Kim.
Harry Kim's not a helm officer. He's doing part of Starbase 80.
He was at helm on the Axamander at the end, though. He was sitting in the helm seat. So.
Because there's only Harry Kim's to Pol, and Curzon's dead. And no payoff to any of that storyline whatsoever.
Yeah, that was my biggest disappointment, was the Curzon, or the Dax mind meld thing not being paid off.
Or Lily, or anybody of the plots. They massively left those out to dry, which is a shame, because there's some really... I mean, honestly, there should have been, I say this in another review, several post-credit sequences. One should have been the Enterprise with Worf on Enterprise. So this is Starbase 80. You've got Worf, who's captain of Enterprise, Riker, who's captain of the Titan, and now Freeman's captain of the expedition mission. And they're just at the bar at Starbase 80, which would be a TOS bar. That's even more fun. And they're having a 1-minute drinking scene talking about how she just saved the universe. When was the last time they saved the universe? And Riker's like, I haven't done that. And Worf's like, I almost killed the Enterprise last week, or something silly. Different post-credit, you have the guys from last week, Dax being met by T'Pol and putting the Cutler into, we found Jadzia, and like they could have had several post-credits to kind of like Marvel, right? Mid-credit, post-credit. This one really needed that to kind of like, yeah.
But I was expecting something for sure, so.
Yeah, I watched the old credits expecting some sort of post-credit, because it was definitely the one that should have had one.
Yeah. Susigura 2000 though, €10. I laughed myself half to death when the Klingon turned into Disco Klingark before dying, but we were teased a Rutherford Tandy romance, which we will now never get to see. Boo. I wouldn't say never. I love at the end where it's like, oh, you're kind of cute. He's like, oh, I feel really hot. And she like pulls him into her chest, and he freaks out. And it's like, yeah. Well, things feel different without a dopamine inhibitor. Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, I thought that was actually a really nice way of... Yeah, that vibed really well for me. It tells you, like, everything here is telling you where they're going to go, probably. But up to interpretation, right? It gave you a vibe. That was a good vibe. But yeah, Discovery thing was brilliant. Check out our video. I think it's on Sunday, maybe, depending. A good little video we filmed on that. Yeah. I mean, also, I was left thinking that this episode was going to be Discovery Klingons versus main characters, because you could easily have left the scene with all the ships being converted, which would have been mad. If they're going super mad, they could have had, so say they had 4 birds of prey in the lead ship, right? The lead ship stays the same because every universe has that ship, fine, whatever. Every other bird of prey gets changed. One, the Discovery that we saw doesn't get blown up. Discovery Klingons leading it. Great. Another one gets turned to the J.J. Abrams Kelvin timeline, bird of prey, D4, bird of prey, blah, with those Klingons. Another version, a TOS bird of prey, which they can design fresh, with TOS smoothheads. And then main lady being our person. So you've got all different branches of Klingons and they don't treat them because they're not actually different. They've just been visually changed. So they're all fighting this fight, and you know, our character's like, what is this fleet? And like they're all bickering. And that could have been ridiculous. And the one time we could have done that justifiably and kind of like embrace all the canons, but also saying they're all alternate universes and they're all whatever.
That'd been cool to start the season with that. Like have this fleet of Klingon mismatched ships and all the different versions of Klingons and being like, what the hell is going on? And then find out it was because of this.
Yeah, the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
Yeah.
But this is more than I needed. This is the first cherry on the cake, Stuart. We had that little joke previously. This is a cherry on top of cleverness that was well handled. Kablam.
And speaking of, this next scene opens up really well because you do see the Cerritos from the exterior. And you see three rows of windows.
Mm-hmm.
Here you can actually see in the windows. So it's quite an interesting take on that aspect of things.
Because we modeled that for our version. I've always been annoyed how dense those ring windows are.
Yeah.
But this worked for me. Oh, and good G's at the top. I forgot. I didn't realize at the start as well. That's cute.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll also go out in the poll, guys. How much did you enjoy this episode? Loved it. Liked it. It's okay, man. It's all right. Did not enjoy it.
Vote now!
And also hit like. There's 45 of you here now, so hit like.
Yes.
So the Cerritos is talking about downtime, and Tiana and Shax are talking about a sexy treasure island.
And that's the first indication of, for me, it felt like we're closing the book on these people, that we've now reasserted they're together, they're in love, happy times. And that arc felt done. Mm-hmm. That's how it felt to me. So I was happy we got these little things. They're not meaningful in the story, but they tell us where we're ending the character at. So that was actually nice to see.
Yeah.
Although, what the hell are they on about with their technobabble? And there's a lot of bullshit technobabble in this week. It was filled to the brim of nonsense. What are they on about in this scene? I have no idea.
Well, at first it's Mariner saying how relaxing it is to be a lieutenant junior grade. Like, who knew? It's like, you were promoted before. Like, you should know. You should have an indication.
Yeah, but on DS9, though, during the Dominion War.
And also a ship. She was just promoted on this ship as well to that rank before. And she had her own quarters.
Yeah,
anyway.
Oh, don't logic it. Don't be logic-y. Be Stewarty.
And yeah, Tillin just says she noticed the difference from when she first arrived. So, but you're not the sporadic kind of crazy Mariner you used to be. And so she yells at this guy, "Enjoy that avocado, cadet." Now this guy has glasses. Obviously, it's supposed to be somebody. I'm not quite sure who it's supposed to be.
I think it's the art guy from Twitter who works on Lodex.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense then. Yeah.
I feel like it's that. He's very old to be a cadet, is what I took from this.
Anyway. You can be any age. Have you seen the show The Rookie? Anyway.
No, I haven't. But I get people piss at me for Marcus being an ensign at whatever age he is.
Doesn't matter. You can join whatever age you want to.
Of course, that as well. But also, you can get demoted. So, I mean, cadets, that's not quite the same thing. But you can be like Mariner. You can be a 45-year-old ensign because you could be a lieutenant commander and get taken down. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty sure that was the guy from Twitter.
Ozzy, $2. Engage the warp core.
Nope.
Engage the core. Warp me.
Yeah. Engage the core. I thought it was a good dumb one. I liked that.
It was great. Classic for real, $5. Which Enterprise? Enterprise D, E, Cerritos Enterprise, or Titan Enterprise? Definitely asking for a friend who is not a Packwood spy. Well, you see the Enterprise E at the end, so.
With no context given at all.
Yeah.
But it did get into the show. And time.
I mean, it was on its way. It just wasn't going to make it on time, so I'm glad that it was at least there.
Well, no, I just meant, like, there was no... Captain Worf's on his way. Like, you just needed something like that to... Or acting Captain Blur.
So here for the technobabble.
Mm-hmm.
Cataloging corpopal levels of the isometric flangometer. And I'm researching how corporate bubbles emissions affect sleep. And Murder's like, you're missing with me. That's not real. Anyway, and then Rutherford's having a hard time fixing this plasma router because he's bitching about his implants and the Cerritos system's being too old. And Tendi tries to calm the ship down. It's okay, girls. He didn't mean it. I do.
Yeah, a bit out of nowhere. Yeah, but you have to set this up if you're going to pay off in 18 minutes time. So.
Sasaguru 2005 euros.
Thanks
Do
much.
Starfleet ships ever have civilian contractors on board? Yeah.
Yes.
How many times in TNG are they taking civilians or scientists somewhere to do a thing? Yeah, absolutely. So
I mean, contractors is an old word of phrasing. I don't know if that. I mean, that I'm sure happens as well. But civilian personnel who are doing missions. Instantly, I thought of the Ferengi scientist who was there doing science missions.
yeah.
I mean, you could kind of argue the Traveller guy from season 1. He was a civilian contractor to help with the other guy. So, yeah.
And then of course, Boimler's obsessed with his pad, and Mariner's like, "Hey, that beard looks good. I hate it. What do you want to drink? I don't base my decisions on this pad. Hold on a second. A bramble." Yeah, and then he gets a message on his other pad and freaks the hell out. Nice voiceover and some diagrams, which are great.
Yeah, and this was the first time I didn't necessarily think about the scene too much, but the second time I was excited when he said he only takes little bits of information from the pad, then he instantly obviously shows that's lying by getting the drink.
Yeah.
And again, I'm shocked they didn't even remotely address the fact that he's got the beard of the other him, which I guess they're keeping, and he's still using the pad to cheat and get up in the world and change his personality, and they never addressed that at the end. So disappointed in Boimler as a character overall this week. I thought we'd have some sort of catharsis and growth, but we didn't. We had to...
Well, he does. He breaks the pad at the end. He doesn't want to use. Well, not that he doesn't want to use it anymore, but he decides to break it, so he can't use it.
But he would have saved the data to his computer.
You would hope so.
So it's sort of a moot point, and I don't think Mike could argue he didn't save it, nor could he argue you can't transfer the data. Like, of course he did. So, yeah.
Well, he's going to say that I know, Mike. If we ask him that question, he'd be like, "Well, you couldn't save it. It's a different quantum state. This information." Blah, blah, blah. He would come up with something probably.
Yeah. Anyway. So he definitely saved the pad. But also, like, there's no scene with him and other Boimler. Like, since he was the lead character last week, it's shocking.
It was a bit of a shame, yeah.
Very strange. They had too much to do, and they just couldn't do a third of it. Yeah.
Sasaguru 2000 throws in €5. Also, great that the Cerritos fell prey to the classic "we're the only ship in range" trope. Sign they finally made it to the top. I love that. Yeah, apparently we're the only ones that can save the freaking universe today.
But I'll be honest, both times I wanted to hear the ownership in range.
Yeah.
I actually wanted the full joke. Yeah. I was like, but I like the joke for a reason. I've used it before, and it's like, people get it. People get it.
Well, makes sense in the vastness of space. Ray Ricks gifted 10 Trekyards memberships, so thank you, Ray.
Wow, thank you.
So I'd like to welcome Robert Olson, Bill,
Bill,
Springtime, James Hall, Zion Williams, Anthony Zappin, Shea Locomotive Productions, Speed 8472. Ooh, Speed 8472. Yeah. Paul Hitchcock, and Patter of Heads.
Okay.
Welcome to the channel, everybody.
Use the emojis and such. Please do, please do. Very cool. Welcome, welcome. Say hello, everybody in the chat.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. But I do like Mariner here. She's really accepting the new him. She's like, yeah, great.
Yeah. Then we get the scene in the captain's ready room where she's like, "Oh, my other Harry Kims, blah blah blah," and Boimler's like, "But the other Boimler wouldn't have sent it if it wasn't true. You got to believe us." And she's like, "Of course I do. You're some of my best officers now." And it's
no,
like,
the best.
Yeah, you are my best officers. Yeah.
Disagree. But okay.
I know. But that's some good captaining.
Probably disagree as well.
I thought it would take you, more convincing.
This is a very effective way of skipping a huge chunk of the storyline and doing it in a convincing way. Yeah, she believes them because while they've live performed, she vibes they're true and she goes with it. Yeah, this is life-changing, universe-changing, move with it. But you need to have the scene to justify the crew getting on board, but having it take under 30 seconds, the way it was handled, yep. Because how many times does, Data or Geordi go to Picard and say something and he's not going to say, well, are you sure? It's like, all right, let's deal with this. So it's nice to see. And it adds growth to them, which is nice. I
also love that that's addressed in this episode. Like, sure, some of the other ships, like the Sovereign class, are more professional.
Yeah.
Like, that was kind of fun at the end, so... Anyway, we'll get there.
Speaking of professional, Molor, whatever his name is, trying to sublight for some reason. Because that's a quick way of travelling across this vastness of space. And we know that at the edge of this space, they are not near Kronos, even though they work on Kronos. Don't think about it, Stuart. Doesn't matter. They didn't think about where or how they're doing. But say goodbye to this ship, which now has double tusks. Double, I say. Neatly put on as well.
Yeah. They're having a bit of an argument, and then all of a sudden they get surrounded by birds of prey.
It's great.
And a big bird of prey.
And I love the scale reference, because they're all on the same plane, so this is a very, very easy way of now determining how big things are. And boy, it's a big bird of prey, and a big, big bird of prey. And what a fleet. 3 Borels and a warship against a wine freighter.
Mm-hmm.
And real dishonourable, this lady, because she's like, aha! Revengeance. It's like, so decloaking a fleet of armed warships against a freighter and shooting them point blank. Don't think that's honourable, lady.
I love how she says, you destroyed one of my ships. I was lucky to survive. And he goes, that's not true. Like, what are you talking about? It's true enough to convince the High Council. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I really liked the friend Klingon, the brother, just going off script for everything. Like, the camera's in focus, like on the live. It's like, it's funny. Yeah, he had a good vibe.
And her name is Relga.
Yes.
Just want to put that out there too. Bark and Dorg were weak. That's her brothers. Bark and Dorg.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So in the course of Low Decks, all 3 of the siblings get killed. Wow.
Just like the Duras.
Yeah. Very Duras vibe. Now, I wasn't expected to be a Duras, actually, based on her phraseology.
I was too.
It made sense. But yeah, they start shooting pretty good space. I would say battle, but, good vibe on all the ships. And our lead Klingon thinks that crashing into them will be, what does he say, the art of surprise? Like, he makes some entirely wrong phrase. What does it? He's about to crash in the ship. What does he say?
We will have the element of surprise.
You're being chased by 3 ships and flying to another. There's no surprise here, you absolute idiot. What are you on about?
I will ram their bridge. Yeah. Sorry, but today's not a good day to die, brother.
Which is a great counter. Very much felt like, Michelle Yeoh walking the bridge and saying, look at the orange banisters, like they're red. But the script is telling you to say something that's not happening. Like the disconnect between what actually happened in the script. But yeah, as they walk away, cool scene, cool moment. Good for the brother. Although, given that they're going to be faster than him, it's like, and they can attack you at warp, I don't know what you're thinking or achieving, because as soon as you walk away, they'll jump after you, catch up to you, try to beam you, get you, and you can't get anybody in minutes because you're in the edge of Klingon space. So, plot hole, don't think about it. Doesn't work structurally unless Riss is right there, but it probably isn't.
Thirst Contact, Furious Fawns, member for 55 months at the rank of Commander. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love this episode so much, especially the classes the Cerritos change into. Engage the core, lower decks. Cerritos strong. Yeah.
Yes. All very true.
Sussy Guru 2002 euros. Is the big bird of prey from STO? Not that I'm aware of, no.
It's a tremendous kit bash bird of prey warship.
Watch the episode we have coming up on it because it's interesting. And Mark Lawrence, member for 58 months. Well, at the rank of Federation Council. Now that the two best Trek series of the era, Prodigy and Lower Decks, have ended, what's next? Strange New Worlds, Section 31.
Section 31. Section 31. Section 31.
Ozzy, member for 58 months at the rank of Federation Council. She wants ramming speed with Purgles. I'm just kidding. That locks in moisture to purple Cerritos.
So I started a goal, Stuart, if you want to check out the goal. A nice basic one.
10. Let's see. 10 $5 super chats. Half an hour. Oof, you have half an hour, guys. Go.
And there's a prize if we get it. What's the prize, Stuart?
Ooh. Okay.
It's high fives for all.
Okay. Sean O'Sullivan, €2. No Swift back. Commencing panic attack.
The fear. The fear. Yes.
Scottish Nightmare surprised no one turned into an augmented Klingon.
How'd you know they didn't? There you go.
Yeah.
You don't know, you can't tell. But yeah, great little simple space battle and really well paced. And then cut to Cerritos. Just chilling out, again, impulse, no one's doing anything important. I kind of knew vibe-wise that because we saw the Admiral here, he was going to be in it later. Which I liked, because he should be in it more. I like the random alien I've never seen before in the middle, and a grey, proper commanding science officer too. Which is nice to see the universe continuation of... Yeah, this makes sense.
Split screen conference call. Which we see in DS9 quite a few times at the end. Anyway, yeah, they talk about this dimensional rift. If it goes unchecked, will destroy our quantum reality. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I just realized Tiana's wearing a hat and a eye patch. She's in a holodeck with Shax. Huh.
Yes, yeah.
What an amazing little detail. Sorry, I just saw that.
I just noticed that too, so.
That's amazing.
Mark Lawrence, $5.
Oh.
1. That's the first one. Yes, Mark, thank you.
Glory to you.
And your $5.
Well, just you, because you have a lot of glory. No, it's a good little conference call. Like I say, it's nicely done. In fact, I've got a conference call in Convergence. I did the DS9 way. This is kind of cool, though, with the little bubbles and little white borders. It's quite cool.
So, yeah, they go talking about sealing the rift with a gluonic beam.
The glue that holds it all together.
Problem is getting to it because it's surrounded by a Schrodinger possibility field, which means when you go through that, anything can happen from any quantum reality.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yep, and it will affect everything without shielding. And of course, if you're then transmogrified into a cactus, you probably can't operate. Yeah.
Yeah, and is that a Klingon, basically like salamander thing from Voyager?
Yep.
Just a Klingon version?
Yep.
Yeah.
How great is that? Holding a
great.
plant, pretty much.
Ray Ricks puts in 5 pounds and says 2. Oh, it's a count up to our goal. Thank you, guys.
Very nice. But
I also like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's a good briefing, yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, because the next thing out of their mouths is, of course, we would never choose a have a California-class ship.
Oh, thank God.
Of this scale. It's like, yeah, thank God. Unfortunately, it is up to you. Enterprise is en route, but there's no time. Your 2 Boimlers are linked in ways that we can't possibly understand. Yeah. So call it fate or quantum entanglement. He doesn't say quantum entanglement, but just entanglement. This is your mission. But yeah, they calculated shield harmonics frequencies to kind of negate the Schrodinger field.
Yeah, nullify it, yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah.
And the scene definitely remind me of Red Dwarf, where they go through the probability field or whatever, and it makes them delusion that there are other things, including floating in deep space. And then they have to go into spin animation to not have the effects. Similar concept, at least similar excuse to have fun. They all become wolves at one point.
Not a bad account, $5.
Thank you.
Discovery Universe is the prime timeline. The USS Enterprise in canon starts large but shrinks and swaps out into cell struts. Everyone knows Section 31. Yes, sure, absolutely, 100%.
No. But it's great that they do address this, because the whole premise of the show, right, was a low-end, side-tier, second contact / engineering ship that does not do important missions, that with a crew of slightly, mediocre officers that grow and build and get better. Like, Tiana's not a good doctor. Like, Phillips is a weird. Like, they're all weird, but most of the stories I've had at the season's ends they've been in a situation for a very specific reason, and it's worked. They've been very good at making it happen. So this time, not only are they closer because they've been dealing with the anomalies, which makes sense, but also they just say, "Yeah, this is not what we normally send you in for." But you gotta try. Now, there is no Boimler connection that means anything. That's entirely it could be a thing, and it isn't, but they don't know that. So I think that's absolutely fine. But as a good way of addressing why would a Cali, which is lower than Excelsior, lower than Prime Ambassador, right, in the totem pole of ranked ships. But it makes sense in this context.
And then once the conference call ends, it's like, you sent this to our reality? It's like, no, I didn't do it. And everybody's looking at Boimler like they're pissed at him.
Yep. Oh, they're pissed.
It was William. It was not me.
But that's just felt so human. Of course, you'd be pissed at your friend, even though it was, but at least it was your friend, and I appreciate it.
It is technically him. It's
which I like. It wasn't, don't ignore that. Yeah, it was still you, just not you.
Yeah.
But it was still you.
We have 51 people here right now, which is fantastic, guys.
Oh,
Super chat in with your thoughts, and also hit the like button. You have 36 likes.
Yes.
I want to get to 50. Hit the like button.
Yes, click that like button.
So they are scrambling in engineering to get these updates installed, and Rutherford is complaining that his implant could do it twice as fast if we didn't have to work with history's oldest relays.
Didn't understand that necessarily. How would your implant do it twice as fast? Because you're doing it with your hands on buttons.
Yeah. But they get the shields fixed, all the new enhancements installed, but Starfleet didn't take into account the hull. What do you mean? Well, there seems to be a potential interference between the field and the duranium alloys throughout the Cerritos. It could affect the hull, but the shield updates should make sure that the crew is unaffected. So yeah, nobody on the ship's going to change, but the ship itself may change.
And given that the Klingons had the same thing that became barge with no air and killed them all, still pretty dangerous. Because, like, what if there was somebody in the second pylon between the secondary hull and the nacelle? When it changes to the one nacelle, that person would be dead floating in space, because then they are staying where they are. They're not shifting with the ship. So if there's no ship there, they'd be dead. Don't think about it, whatever. But I love the fact, and this is why I could tell the episode was going to get bigger and bigger. Who's the person that yells engineering? It's Australian gal. Has she got a report in the episode? No. Doesn't need it, right? She's there. She's visceral. She's meaningful.
And Ollie's there, too.
And Ollie's there, who's... you can't miss. Can't miss. And she's very important in the story, and I really liked that. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice for sure. And I can't even complain at Starfleet for only doing this effective, because the problem was only like half a day old. It's like this had to be some pre-existing strategy they had from like 10 years ago that they just managed to modify over the course of an hour. You know what I mean?
You think it would be in the notes that William Boimler sent the other Boimler about the shield modulation thing?
You think they had one?
I don't know. That's what makes sense. It was in that information, but it seems like it's coming from Starfleet.
No, I think it was a Starfleet. We our best scientists have developed this.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I said it would make more sense to come with the information from the other Boimler.
Well, yeah, if they had more communication with them, that makes sense. Well, especially since potentially Lily would have something, or they have no shields in general. Complicated, right? Complicated.
Matthew DeFriedis, $5.
Thank you.
Love the finale. Had so many All Good Things vibes, especially the ending. Like the poker scene in All Good Things. Lower Decks just feels like it's carrying on. Well, this is called the new Next Generation, so...
Which I'm not sure why exactly, but... That's okay. But anyway, the Klingon ship warps in, and I love that Freeman basically says, okay, we'll pause saving the universe and deal with some Klingons. that is a professional thing to do, but also dumbass thing to do, but also what a gal to stop universe mission for this.
I love how Mariner's like, "This is not a good time, guys. Your bullshit. Like, we want asylum. Oh, okay, let's get them on board. We got other shit to do, though."
Well, not just that, but the one time Mariner doesn't know what's going on because she's always like doing something fancy. It's like, no, seriously, no idea. Didn't do anything. Not me. Don't know. Yeah, I like that. That was fun.
So then they're talking in the briefing room and talking about how she wants revenge because the brothers were dead and whatever.
Makes sense.
And then he's eating all their food. They have sweet and salty. We only have bugs.
Yeah.
Well, you guys will grant you asylum, but you're going to be stuck in your quarters. Because apparently we're the only ones who can save the frickin' universe today, was one of my favorite lines.
I was expecting something from them saying, wait, so is this not a safe place? Oh no, far from it. What's the point in that then? We will die. Yes, but die together. Who are you? Why do I care? But they sort of ignore that point. And I do like the bug jab, especially since it implies they don't replicate those on their farm.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there'll also be very different ones, I guess. Although I know in this go around he has a cake. He replicated cake. Yeah, just having fun with it. Why not? But it's such an odd tonal thing to suddenly go from universe destroying to some guy squabbling. But it's like that's very Starfleet to them. So I I like, even though it's like they're in the last episode, really, kind of vibe.
But then the Klingons show up.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that the bird of prey are like doing their sweeps around the ship.
Yep.
While the big one just sits there. That's great.
And Trace is a giant ship. It actually is a very, very big ship. So this is a big warship bird of prey. This thing is mean and wants to play.
Yeah. Anyway, she comes on. Relga says, you're harboring criminals. Well, they disagree. And she points out your admiral mate will not protect you from me.
How does she know about him?
Exactly.
Never really answered. She just has good knowledge, I guess.
And then ironically, we get an incoming call from Admiral Freeman. But before we get to that, Classic for Real throws in $5.
Oh, thank you.
Farewell, Lower Decks. On to Section 31. Engage Plot Core. Kurtzman and Goldsman strong. If you think their farts stink, you are factually wrong. Kurtzman is your Trek god.
Oh. Wow, you learned so much on Trekyards, don't you?
Yeah. And Classic for Real puts in another $2.
Thank you.
It says, P.S. Australian girl is pretty cute.
Yes.
There you go.
Although Australia's not real, so I don't know where she's from.
That's true, yeah. They're all paid actors that are living in Houston.
Yeah, that's where over half the world's finances goes, just to pay for that.
Raj says, what type of Klingon ship is that? It's never stated. It's never stated a ship name or a class. Or a number. So we don't know.
It's the Kick-Ass class.
And what did you call it? What is your...
Warship Bird of Prey.
Warship Bird of Prey. I like it. So that's what it is for now.
I mean, not that Callies are strong, so it's not that she'd be afraid to take them on, right? But, clearly, I mean, just the scale alone tells us it's a proper, meaty, weaponized Bird of Prey, which I am all here for. Yeah. I did like this message. First time, obviously, it's meant to be suspicious. Like some. Yeah. But also, because they do truncate time, or distance, sorry, that kind of gives them the liberty to truncate time. So, they say, and I love what they say it, because first time just is, but second time, like, well, obviously, word travels fast. Well, this has been seconds. She walked in, said hi, give us a prisoners. You can't have called. No one, who on the bridge crew called Earth? And he was free to take the call and call back. But it doesn't read that way the first time because, like I said, they break immersion of like where things are and like how has Mark got to them in the same 5 minutes? He can't. There's no way, right? I was in the same system because Warp is actually quite slow when you think about galactic terms. So it works from the stupid point of view, but then
I think they would have been nearby because it starts off with her fleet of bird of prey encountering the anomaly, so they're in the area. They find the Klingon guys. Because I don't know where they're going, but anyway.
Yeah, well, why are they selling wine at the edge of Klingon space at sublight?
Because it's Klingon blood wine, man.
Uh-huh. Yes, let's go 6 weeks out to the
Anyway.
edge of our space to sell wine. Well, even though our work is on Kronos.
Don't over logic the distance and time stuff. It never fucking works out.
It used to work. I'm always just annoyed by it because I work really hard to make distance and time work in my Trek films, even to the detriment of some distances. Yeah.
Mark Lawrence, $5. How about the Boimler maneuver? Bumped the one Klingon ship into the other and took them both out.
Didn't even really see that the first time, but yeah, really like, oof. Ow, that was a blow up the second time, yeah.
And by the way, guys, we're 6 out of 10 of our super chats for our goal. We only need another 4 $5 super chats to hit that goal, which would be amazing. So if you can throw in a 5, please do.
And this is the time to let us know what you think. Like, we want to know what you think about Lower Decks. We want to know how you vibe. Yeah, really want to get your thoughts.
So Admiral Freeman comes on and says, "You're harboring criminals. Hand them over." End of transmission. Mariner tries to argue with him by saying, "These guys are my friends," and then the transmission cuts. Like, that was weird.
Which
this
I like.
Whole day has been weird.
Yeah, I like the fact that you can tell Ransom's suspicious in the second time. There is some subtle. That's like, oh, okay, I get why. And he's the one that went to collect them as well. So obviously he's the one that hid them. Makes sense second time, right? So I like that.
Yeah, that stuff's definitely more noticeable on a rewatch. So. Let's see. Hit like, guys, 50 likes or 50 people here and 45 likes. We can hit that 50, no problem. So anyway, they bring the Klingon captain guy to the bridge, and Ralga's like, "Where's the fat one?" He seems to have wandered off. Mariner's like, "Good."
Although then you get Shaq saying, "I've scanned the ship and he's nowhere, and I've got security teams after him."
Yeah.
I know there's no I know he's not wearing a comm badge or anything, but how exactly has Ransom disabled internal sensors to block scanning of a second Klingon life sign? In the last minute?
Question.
Because I didn't hear that first time, but they actively tell us that he's not here anymore. Like, they don't make that point if you're gonna entirely. Like, I don't know. Can the second in command override scanning material? I don't know.
Probably.
I hope not.
Otherwise, being second in command is not an important position. You should have access to that kind of stuff.
That's why I want captain.
Classic for real, $5. But seriously, Section 31 and Academy, oof. Prodigy and Strange New World strong. But I guess we can still look forward to the alternate Kurtzman universe canon too.
Yes.
Sure. In its own funny way.
Hey, who knows? Maybe the Gorn in Strange New World Season 3 and 4, they will show both styles.
They were hit by this wave as well.
Oh no. You never know. And we still have 11 minutes and 51 seconds to get our last 3.
11 minutes to get 3 more $5 super chats, guys.
Indeed.
So yeah, she goes on to say that, look, we have to deal with an anomaly that's emitting strange energy. We've got updates for our shields. How she's like, I have no use for this. Hits the pad.
So that's not going to go bad for them later.
They blow up his poor little ship.
That actually hurt, because they're not rich people, and it's like that probably had. I'm hoping that they just got wine off to somebody and they got paid up into a bank account. Otherwise, it's their entire livelihood as well. Although then he abandons it and gets a ship later, so it kind of makes that whole episode a bit redundant. But whatever.
Yeah. And we get a nice little battle scene with the Cerritos doing some evasive maneuvering.
Yeah, I mean, fast ship. I mean, yeah. Well, it never fires. Is this an act of war? Given that they're actually allies right now?
Never is when this happens, and it happens a lot, so...
Yeah. Oh, but the way they... I mean, look at those two birds of prey. Different colour, different vibe. Yeah, really like this new bird of prey. It's really effective. Which it wouldn't have felt as good if the other bird of prey weren't in the shot. The contrast helps it feel big. I would have just felt like kind of Krug's bird of prey, which is wider wings and it's slower because the model, right? Yeah, this contrast was really, really good.
Yeah. Classic for real, $5. Australian girl is pretty cute too. $5, getting close to Target edition.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
Forgot how cute Trill Helm Girl Barnes is too.
Didn't get any lines. Not sad.
Yeah. cut lines in the last episode. No, the one before that, where she was devolved.
Oh yeah.
Ray Ricks, 5 pounds. The big bird of prey looked like a variant of the heavy bird of prey. Perfect. Mark Lawrence, $5. Chihuahua Targ was pretty funny though.
It was.
Yeah.
And that's a great visual gag. It's there.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with it? No, but it's there and it works.
Classic for real, $5. $5 target. Ho. P.S. Bumped up rainforest ship. Oh, okay, I can't.
Shut up, you.
I can go. I can move over to there and do it right now for you if you want. I'd be right off the board at that point.
Oh.
Maybe I will do that. DB, $5 Australian.
Oh, welcome.
Merry Christmas, guys. Really enjoyed this episode and love seeing the big E on screen one more time.
That is true. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we hit our goal and nothing happened. I thought something cool would happen.
Well, I think you're meant to go past it until the timer goes out.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, yeah, no. No, you're right.
Just says high fives for all.
Yes.
Thank your audience for making it possible. Thank you for making that possible.
Awesome.
Should we set another goal?
Yes. This is new, by the way, guys. This is a brand new feature. Sure. Do you want me to do it? Or do you want to try it?
You can do it because I just hit start another goal and it didn't do anything.
Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, I must have to do it. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Scottish Nightmare confetti. Oh, we didn't get any.
Yay for all of you then.
Congratulations on the confetti.
Okay. So new goal. Let's see if...
What's the new goal? Let's see. Fist bump for all. Okay. 15 teal super chats. So is teal $5 or is teal
everything above $5? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Perfect.
And guys, /Stuart, tell them about our tomorrow bonus live.
Oh yes, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we'll be talking. We'll have a Drunkyards essentially, hanging out for a few hours, talking about Lower Decks. Probably talking more about this episode with people that haven't made it to this. But anyway, we'll be talking about Lower Decks now that it's all wrapped up. Kind of have a remembery, if you will, of all the Lower Decks.
And I'm kind of, it's a sort of a wake / an epilogue / a, and I'm kind of inclined to kind of go through the seasons, like just you and me and discuss, and just like our favorite, very informal look at, or you can obviously super chat, talk about this episode, whatever, right? That works as well. At some point, I'll have to do the ranking of Lower Decks episodes because there's only so many, but you have to actually watch them to get that again. But yeah, I mean, look at the thing that is Lower Decks, right? The celebrated and also it's kind of our last Christmas live as well, possibly, and etc. etc. But yeah, join us tomorrow for that. But yeah, Sarita says F this we're leaving, which I love. That she's like, I don't want to fight. I'm not doing this. I just leave. Fair, yes, good.
We've actually got an important assignment. We got to go do things now.
Yeah, but she does acknowledge they're not be far behind, so I appreciate that.
And they arrive at the Schrodinger field,
and it has some good tension, which I like.
Yeah. We could experience changes to the hull of the ship, Captain.
We will, in fact. And I really like the way they enter the anomaly. It's a great effect.
I love her attitude, though, the captain. Yeah. She's like, no matter what we change into, it's still better than getting blown up by the Klingons.
Unless you're a barge. And also, it's like, it's getting weird in here. Yeah, some good fun stuff here. And I didn't realise in the second watch how instant the first shift is. It's within like a minute of this part of the story beginning as they shifted into a
single nacelled Freedom class variant of the Cerritos.
And it's a great effect. It's still a very similar ship. It's a very minor difference in the grand scheme, but it looks pretty snazzy.
And the whole question of how do we even go to warp with one nacelle? Well, first of all, you should know that because there are single nacelled ships in Starfleet.
Yep.
At the Battle of Wolf 359 and others, but
yep.
And I love how Tendy's like, well, it's very possible. You can create a warp bubble without dueling the cells. The only sacrifice is the static actuators, and she gets cut off. So
didn't hear that bit from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should have known that, but it's for the audience. But as you'll see very soon, it's another cannon point for another thing on a cell. And it's good. It's good. I was kind
good
of
design.
I think it's tricky because they set up an expectation here of crazy ship fun. And by that I mean they did have crazy ship fun with the variants of other ships of Earth and Galaxy. Beautiful. But I think the way they did the changing of the Cerritos to other variants was very lo-fi. I think that was underwhelming second watch. First time thinking, what could it be? But they go from a single cell to a single cell with more yellow paint to a Cerritos with sovereign cells and some add-ons to... is that the only variation? And then a sovereign. So with a sovereign with Cerritos cells. So if they had more money and time... I would have absolutely adored if they had created... Because there's a giant sketch chart when they're designing the lower decks Cerritos. And in fact, lots of the versions, the other versions, were a galaxy with weird cells. Like, how do they change a galaxy to look worse, ostensibly? But there's loads of very weird designs they came up with. If they had more time and money, I wish they could have done like 5, and the normal one being 1, so 4 new ones, of actually different, what could have been variations. So A would have been a meta canon of like, that's what it could have been. But also were sort of fleshed out designs and change it a bit more than just what they did. I don't not appreciate what they did, but they could have gone bigger with this concept wise, because second time it's a bit underwhelming, the changes. It's fun, but it felt cheap, which I'm okay with. But you know what I mean?
As we talked about earlier, I think I kind of have the impression that this was one of the almost final designs for the Cerritos that they were going to go with, and they changed their mind with the actual Cerritos. But that's why they spent 1 or 2 changes on this one instead, to kind of let it linger a little bit. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely commit to this one. All them.
Yeah. Cat Boots throws in $5.
Cat
Freedom class. Yes.
Yeah, it's great, and it looks great. It looks great as a single cell, and no problems. It works well. Although the bridge never changes. They don't even. I mean, colors, yes, but that's not really a change. But yeah, Klingons jump in. They have a really lack of issues. And we get action for the next, 7 minutes? Constant action. The pace is excellent here. It's really fun, dynamic, no seconds wasted. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we see Rutherford in the Jeffries tube. He's getting mad because who even designs a ship like this? Which I assume is the Freedom class version. It would have to be. And being in a Jeffries tube and having the ship change around you would be a terrifying prospect, I gotta say, because Jeffrey tubes would not be laid out the same. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I can't say I understand this particular scene, because how can you fix a ship that's changed internal configuration every time? You can't.
Yeah.
So I don't really get it. I mean, they're not at the point where they've changed... The bridges, the source are the same. But like when they get to the Galaxy and the Sovereign, like, they aren't changing systems that exist anymore. So all the modifications they're making are no longer the ones they're making. So there's definitely a logic hole there.
The change I was making to the port nacelle cell is now... there's only one nacelle. So
yes.
What am I doing?
Yes, it's there's definitely some logic holes.
Yeah.
And again, he's just aggressive for no real reason. I don't get it.
Yeah. But then we have a Klingon ship. One of the bird of prey turns into a barge, old Klingon sailing barge, and you just see the crew drift off into space, and it's like, oh my god, that's awful.
Yep, it's pretty graphic, and it really does set the tension very well. Well, it explains why they had so many birds of prey, so we could destroy them. They're the red shirts of the fleet, and this, I'm assuming, is the same design that we saw the
Barge of the Dead.
Barge of the Dead, yeah. I assume that's the reference.
Yeah, yeah. And whoever said earlier that Barnes didn't have any lines is wrong, because this is where she... Oh, you were wrong. Because she looks back and says, can that happen to us?
Yes.
So.
And I don't understand why I sent Boimler from Helm to deal with the whales.
Yeah, we can't afford to go off course, Mr. Boimler. Head down to navigation.
But they're not actively doing anything to help pilot. We see them. They're not. They're swimming around. I don't. Very forced. Don't like it. Letting the team down.
We'll get there when we get there. We'll see what's on the screen.
I know. And then same thing. Tendian. I don't understand this team Tendian Tlin either. They're arguing for no reason about things that aren't important in a ship that's changing. They can't fix. I don't get any of this.
They're trying to solve problems, but they're both the senior science officers. So one wants to reroute power to the structural integrity field, the other one wants to disable some systems. So they're having a bit of an argument as to which is the proper course of action.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah, it's not a very good scene, but I like the way it connects to Rutherford's bit. So I was genuinely sort of annoyed by this scene, how not good it was in the episode, until Rutherford came in, and I like his scene. And I forgot I didn't like the first part of the scene. What's the Rutherford bit? 'Cause I liked it more, and I can't remember what they said.
He just comes in and starts kicking things, and it says, "I can't get any isolinear relays stabilized. It's the ship. I think I'm falling out of love with the Cerritos." And she's like, "Maybe you're just going through a rough patch." He goes, "I thought so too, but it's not getting any better." And then we cut to the exterior.
Harsh. Sad.
And Static Beard Chakotay throws in $5.
Thanks so much.
Would have been funny to charge into a ship with the bridge on the bottom of the saucer and just lower deckers have to run the ship for a minute.
I mean, there's a lot of fun they could have done with the concept. And yeah, having a Shinjo-style ship appear would have been funny. Actually, they could have had a Discovery-style ship appear.
They should have.
Oh, guys, he said it. He said it.
I said what?
There should have a Discovery ship should have appeared. You said it?
I mean, one already did. The Klingon one.
Federation ship,
But I think it would have been better to have one of the JJ or the Kelvin aesthetic ships show up.
That would have been crazy if the Kelvin showed up.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Or just a ship that is clearly Kelvin universe.
But I mean, they could have used the Kelvin just cut off the top hull. Would have been...
Yeah, but that's true, yeah.
Yeah. And again, they've got the model. It exists. Like, yeah. Madness. But then more action. It's cool. It's good stuff. And then, yeah, Boimler's just washing the whale.
Just maintaining its moisture level, I guess. I don't know.
Like, that's his important job. Yeah, this bit let the show down.
Yeah, you think station ops would be designed better is all I'm saying.
And have officers who are here. Like, this is a very important navigation mission, so you have the officers who work in this station on station. Why are there no officers here? So this is a dumb scene. I like seeing them. I really like seeing them. And calling the Klingons hot's really funny. But it's not a good scene in concept or execution, really. And I don't know why thinking running around the ship yelling his name is going to help. It's dumb. It doesn't work. This scene is a pretty poor showing.
Yeah. But the Klingon gets all upset because, according to the pad, and in Beard Boimler's universe, Mariner actually did hide his brother. Becky, yeah. Well, seems like something Becky would do.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I see your point. Like, this whole kind of didn't need to happen. Could have happened anywhere, like in a corridor or whatever, but...
Yeah. But that's because the episode's so strong that when you get a genuinely weak part, it's like, yeah, this is weak, guys. This is not a good bit. But the rest of the episode's so strong, right? So, yeah.
And Data's Gut throws in $5. It was fun seeing how goofy that Discovery Klingon ship looked next to a prime bird of prey. Yes.
Also true. Hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's actually a really good point. It looked good, but not good.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't
good
fit.
In a different way. But careful, guys! Ship's changing again. Which this is kind of a callback almost to season 1, where she's like, when the ship goes in for refit, she's like, just don't make the engines all sovereign-y. Because we get the ISS Mirror Universe version of the Cerritos with sovereign engines, lots more weapons.
Yeah, don't be ruining my baby with adding that bullshit.
Yeah. And the Shax bit is so hilarious. By the prophets, our weapons are amazing. Oh, weapon systems offline. Poor Shax, man.
and obviously this would have been the best time to have those third weapons. You'd be attacked by a fleet that they don't fire on ever once. And that would have been cool to have one single attack where everything's firing and some crazy cool moment. Definitely not a brilliantly done Mirror Universe variant. I mean, they didn't put any time into the interior. The exterior is crazy. And knowing they've obviously got the Sovereign model, just pulling the assets is easy. But, you know, it's cool. There might not be a video on it coming soon. I do wish, certainly, they'd, like, it would be nice if at this point they'd said, okay, because shields are lowering, the effect of the radiation hits more, and so some of the bridge crew are being converted into Mirror Universe uniform. Would have been fun.
The uniforms are changing, not the people. That'd be great.
Yeah, like every 10% something a bit more happens. Would have been a very nice touch. Obviously more money, more effort, but would have been a really nice, like, zazz up here.
Little People Pets throws in $5.
Thank you.
All those Terran weapons, drool. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Shax.
And this is where Relka says, now hand over those fugitives. You shouldn't have given me those shield upgrades. That'll teach you. That'll learn you real good. A lot more firing is happening. The Cerritos getting hit.
Again, jam-packed with stuff. Although a very poor edit, I thought. There's a great shot of the Mirror Cerritos flying, zooming past camera, being chased. And hard cuts to at the back, moving slowly and poorly. And that's a bad edit of good energy to zero energy. That was a really, really poor edit, and they should have known better.
Well, this is where they become dead in space. Their engines are down. Shields are still up a little bit. Why isn't her ship changing? Oh, it probably is, but Klingons hardly ever update their fleet designs. They always want their ships to look like big, stupid birds. So that's something we've been saying for years. Every time we look at a Klingon design, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They don't. That's their kind of mantra for ship design. So
I mean, it's literally a D5 head.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else to it. It's a D5 head. So yeah, it's incredibly not broken. So they're probably not going to fix it.
Microwaved fish, $5. Big floppy lightning bolt coming in for the win. Soon, yes.
It was just the right amount of silly and clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. See, you know how I've said for a few shows recently, they set up the setup like the episode before the payoff, but the fact that we knew her several episodes ago, not many, but it felt like several. It feels more justifiable that she's a payoff, right? Like, that felt like a nice payoff, even though it had just been 2 episodes ago, but it had a good vibe to it. Yeah. That's how you do it better.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We're almost there, though. Malora comes on and says, this purple boy has proof that Mariner has hidden my brother. And Mariner's like, I'm not lying to you, Mom. And she's like, I know you aren't. I trust you.
But I love her second guessing of like, I mean, not this time. It's like,
yes.
I wouldn't lie to you. But I believe her sincerity. I really like Tawny's performance here. It was very genuine.
But the proof is on this device. And Boimler just snaps it on his knee.
Do you think you could snap a thing on your knee like that?
Probably. I don't know. Anyway, Mariner's all upset, like, why'd you do that? That was working for you. You're so handsome and cool now.
Ouch.
And then it's like, I don't want that life if it means not having your back. Oh, that's really actually very sweet. You're a better friend than Beard Boimler. Friendship.
Yeah, it's a very abrupt way of ending that storyline. But again, I'm sure that they backed it up. I've no doubt. But I like the tone that he sacrificed that. That felt nice. That felt justifiable. So it's again, if you don't think about it too much, it makes sense.
Yeah. Crassus, though, throws in £5. So thank you. In my behind-the-scenes headcanon, there is a deleted scene of the Enterprise coming in after the fact, and we get a hail from Captain Martin Madden.
That's the deleted scene, second in command from Nemesis. who got made fun of and put the wrong thing, and yeah. Poor guy, he was trying so hard.
Mark Lawrence, $5.
Thank you.
Just imagine how much a Packlid clump ship would change getting hit by one of the waves. Oh my god. Yeah, no doubt, eh?
Yeah, I kind of wish the Trekyards were in this. That might sound silly, but they were so memorable in the first season.
Yeah.
Don't know how you could have, but it would have been kind of cool.
But Klingon boy wants to fight Mariner, so he throws a punch and he gets stopped by Ransom, and it's like, how are you so strong for a human? High intensity interval training.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was trying to think of what his like hero moment was going to be, and I was like, yeah, Ransom, you're a strong guy. That's your thing. Yes.
And then he admits to hiding Malore. Because the message from Admiral Freeman didn't quite sit right. It's like, yeah, it didn't sound like Dad.
Yeah, that felt very command captain incoming setup.
Yeah.
Let's give him a bold moment. That's not your call, Jack. Well, no, Freeman. Second in commands are meant to do important things if they think it's important. That is actually their job, to override you if they have to, and also not put you in the loop. That really is their job sometimes.
And then we see the transmission where it statics out a bit, and you see her face. It was just a trick. It's so dishonorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's not very nice. Well, she already lost 3 birds of prey at this point. So she's... A lot of Klingons are getting killed, although I guess 12 officers and men isn't that many people, but... Yeah. Oh, Stuart, let's see how the poll's doing as well, since we have 75 votes, which is fantastic. Speaking of, 72%. Wow. Loved it. 22% only liked it. Which means 94% felt positive. That's very high for any show. 3%, okay, meh, it's alright. And 3% did not enjoy it. Wow, well done, Lower Decks. Well done, Lower Decks. Were we all this positive for the Discovery season finale? Don't know.
No.
Although Picard were all pretty positive there. Because we had the Enterprise D. That's pretty cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, so Shaq says, I can't believe we have Terran weapons and no way to power them. And then Tiana's like, if there was only some sneaky underhanded Kirk-style trick we could do, like they did back in the old days. I actually have an officer that might be able to help with that, says Phillips.
Yeah.
Didn't know where this was going, but geez.
I kind of guessed Kirk being the obvious reference, but I thought there was going to be something a bit... There's not a complaint by any means, but they picked very direct ways of solving problems. Even if they don't 100% make sense.
Yeah.
But they had to do a lot of things, so I'm okay with it. We had to go from A to B to C to D to... Okay. I get it. So, yeah. So, yeah, it was very dense.
So, Freeman and Relka are talking, and it's like, you discovered my little secret, you must die now. It's like, well,
kill him anyway.
It's a shame we gave you those shield upgrades. Looks like we may have to take them away from you.
What?
I'd like to see you try.
Okay.
And then I thought it was seeing things at first when I saw the like Dragon Ball Z thing going on. And it's like, oh shit, that's Ollie. That's great. So yeah, she powers up her lightning bolt, and it hits the front of their ship. And it's pretty epic, actually, the way it kind of melts and like right through.
I mean, can Star Trek ever get more Kamehameha? Or whatever the phrase is? Because I've not seen Dragon Ball Z, but I know enough about it to know that's like...
Yeah.
Someone's a fan of Dragon Ball Z in the show, because that was right out of the show. And it was good.
Raj just put that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But it worked. As silly as that sounds, it did work. And hey, it's set up. And all it had to do was disturb like the power. And we know explicitly that she did that in the previous... that's why she'll keep getting fired, right? So it's not even as there's a giant leap. She didn't have to destroy it or do anything giant. Just have to basically fry the circuits enough for it to be shields down. And that's exactly what I felt like she could do. Although brave of her. My goodness. To go out of the ship in a spacesuit in an anomaly which is changing reality. Now, maybe they're not. Maybe they're triggering pulses as they move. So maybe if they say static, they're not being hit. Maybe there's a. But that's really brave. I mean, she should at least be not thrown off at Starfleet for this, because that's very brave. So well on her.
She should get a commendation.
Yeah. And yeah, shields go down. Love the graphic of shields going down. That was a really nice little graphic. And I got like, oh no feeling. And it was indeed oh no.
Yeah. Ah, you're tricked in nothing. Our shields are still up. Fire on them. Destroy them. Actually, our shields are down. What? And then they turn into proto-Klingons, which we saw in TNG when Worf turned into one in the episode Genesis.
Genesis?
Genesis? And the little Chihuahua Targ turns into a clam. Yep.
I did laugh out loud at that. It's so ridiculous. It's but I like it. It's so what? Now, did you all recognise this as being the TNG Worf altered? Because I read a comment on one of the social medias saying this was a Discovery reference, that of course Discovery Klingons were linked to this, and I'm like, no, this isn't new canon. This is just TNG. This is we
yes,
like we know they were like this. It's fine. This is.
I recognized it the first time I saw it. I'm like, is that? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like, I absolutely get you really don't see Worf very clearly most episode. Fine, but I mean, did you guys recognize it? I don't recognize it. And it's very dramatic, and it really is quite a dark ending. Making them Proto-Klingons, they fight, they cause some sort of damage in the ship, it explodes. I mean, that's pretty brutal for a ship that probably has quite a lot of crew in it. It's a pretty harsh ending.
Ah, well.
Fair. There you go.
Classic for real, $5.
Thank you.
Heck yeah, anime style. We need more Trek anime waifus. A whole series that's just Trek anime waifus. Sam, Google, but she was science officer now. Oh. No, he doesn't have to do that. I have it right here. I also have the Captain coming. She's on pre-order. There's an Uhura one, and there's also a Doctor one coming. So I have this. It's right here. Classic for real. He doesn't need to do any Googling. I have a video about it when I got it. Anyway.
Is that canon? What's happening right now? Is that canon?
What canon?
The lady.
This?
Yeah, is that canon? Yeah. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I believe you. Yeah, yeah. And how did you feel when the Klingons got kind of brutally, like, actually for the story? Because obviously we're pushing to the next part of the story. How did you feel?
Fine. I was like, okay, I'm assuming there's going to be no more changes now, is what I thought. Which was kind of disappointing a little bit, because I kind of looked forward to all the changes that could happen. But
yeah, no Discovery Klingons. Which I honestly would have been fine if that's what they become and then got blown up as well.
Yeah.
But then we get a rather fun shifting into a Sovereign, which isn't shown exterior, but they're behind MSD. So we know as the audience. And then it's revealed they just grabbed their Sovereign mesh from later in the season and later in the episode and just shoved some Cerritos and cells on. That said, texturing is not the same as the E at the end, which is very faithful. This is the Cerritos style, although the front registry is the front registry, which I just realised.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. Although both
we've got on Sovereign class.
Yeah.
And I like her resignation. I guess I'll have to take it. She's not a fan of the Sovereign, obviously.
3 times as capable, at least.
Yeah.
And it does it pretty good with the blue. They just recolored it based on, a fan could do this in an hour, right? Wouldn't be difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good mod. I wonder who in the team suggested this, because the way this moment they zip around felt like, we love the Sovereign, we're gonna be a hero. At least for a second. I wonder or they just gave in.
Stephen Fothery is here from Text Trek with
Welcome.
$5. Thank you so much, Stephen. Good to see
you.
you.
Good to see you.
The dog looked like a half pug, half Chihuahua Targ. Could be Captain Foley's next pet. LOL. Thanks, Team Trekyards, for another fantastic season.
Aw.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with your review as well, which I'm sure is coming very soon.
Yeah, Sovereign class with California class nacelles. Yep. It looks good in motion too. Like I like the nacelles on it, honestly.
Yeah. It's the only change they made, like practically, but yeah, they work surprisingly well.
Then it gets hit by another beam and becomes an Oberth class.
Once
which
again,
you get some nice beauty shots of it from different angles.
Always out of focus though, because it's so zippy.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is a what, 1.9 second reference?
Yeah.
2 seconds, but I mean, even in the out of focus, they did modify the textures to be the yellow and the blue.
And then we get a full-on Galaxy class.
Mm-hmm. With different colored primary and secondary hull for some reason. They did some odd choices. I'm kind of assuming that when they read the script for the season, this is why they made sure they had one for the Purple Enterprise. Because they knew they could use it twice. Because this is obviously the same model.
The different colored primary and secondary hull, I assume, is a reference to the Enterprise from Picard.
I don't know why it would be.
But just as it's a quick thing. It's just like hey, we see you. And I love the MSDs changing behind Rutherford because you got like a Soyuz class. You got a whole bunch of different ones there.
I mean, it's mostly just a Miranda, a Sovereign and Galaxy, but yeah, they'd make each of those. I mean, they're probably pretty kit bashy in terms of they put in the same elements from each one, but that's a lot of effort right there.
Well, the Galaxy class gets hit, turns into a Miranda class.
That's a great shot of Galaxy from behind as well. That's a really nice.
Yeah.
With bright orange top nacelles. Crazy. That's cool. Yes.
Then to a Miranda, then back to a Galaxy, then back to. And anyway, and then you see a Miranda's class with Cerritos nacelles.
Looks great.
Which is also very cool.
Looks really good from the bottom, yeah.
And then it gets turned back to Cerritos.
And that's the end of our fun, a reference a second bit. And it was great.
It was fantastic. Absolutely loved that.
Speaking of loving it, do you guys want a fist bump? Well, we've got 15 minutes to get 6 more super chats of 5 or more, and everyone gets a fist bump. We're going up from the high five to the fist bump.
We can do lower decks fist bump, but we can't do it. So you get $6
Keep them low. And I mean, guys. Oh, actually, super chat or not, but let us know which of the transformation ships was your favourite to see on the screen. They were so quick. Everyone right now, there's 64 of you, so I want to see at least 10 people saying what was their favourite. What was your favourite, Stuart, do you think of? Because we've just gone through them all. What was your favourite?
That's a good question. I mean, I like the Freedom class, but I also liked seeing the Oberth. The Oberth is kind of one of my guilty pleasure ships a little bit. But honestly, I think my favorite one was that last one, was the Miranda with the Cerritos style nacelles. I thought that looked pretty cool. Yeah, how about you?
I mean, Freedom had the most joy behind it. But I do wish the mirror had been more. I think that could have been my favourite. Yeah, I'll go Freedom. I think they had the best vibe. Which is funny.
The more yellow one or the first one?
The classic.
I kind of like the more yellow one, honestly, but
the low tier engineering, not the big tier engineering.
Not the gold standard engineering. That's why it was yellow, because it was gold.
Yes, and I was expecting, although we've never seen it yet, but I was expecting, because again, this episode they can have their cake and eat it too. If they had suddenly cut to, if they had more in the Galaxy class, everyone loves the Galaxy class. If they'd seen the bridge, that would have been so nice. See Freeman in a Galaxy class chair and Shaxx at the, look at the weapons of this Galaxy class. It would have been nice on that bridge as well, because it's a very nice bridge.
With what happens soon with the quantum decoupling, where they kind of duplicate, it would have been cool to see all the different variations of the Cerritos kind of in a fleet that all had to come together. Like, to see all of those Cerritos versions flying together would have been epic. Andy Urick, $5, Enterprise D with orange nacelles. Marco says the orange nacelles were because of the reflection of the lights. So.
Why would you say that? Given that the rest of the ship isn't orange though, and when it hits the white of the spec of this scene, it's still orange. So it's.
Well, you see the MSD change behind Rutherford a few times. So we didn't see all the iterations of the different ships that were.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But yeah, gimmick's done. He's really happy now. he starts doing things. I absolutely do buy, though, that, yeah, the California class is a super workhorse. It's basic, it's old, it's been kit bashed a bit internally, but also it can do lots of things. It's designed to do lots of things. That
Yeah, I love that part.
It's not science, it's engineering, and you need an engineering problem solution right now. We get to see his... Because he did rip out the thing in season 1. It was graphic. This looks like a much more gentle version. I guess he improved it because little dots and...
BJ, $2. The Cali class is a modern Miranda class. Ish.
Yeah, maybe.
But I love the whole, because Mariner says, why didn't we get a bigger, better ship? And he's like, no, this is perfect. The Calis were designed for all sorts of functionality. We can reconfigure systems better than anyone.
Yeah.
It's great.
I buy it.
And then Livic's like, whoa, I've never seen someone engineer that fast.
I forgot that was Livic. I knew that was someone we knew, but I did forget that was Livic. Yeah.
Livic.
Yeah.
And then they all start chanting, Rutherford, Rutherford.
I don't necessarily believe what he did, and it would do what they said, however.
Yeah, directing the quantum energy into the dilithium chamber. I believe he did it. I don't know what it did. It didn't really do anything, in my opinion.
Well, based on the context, it made their impulse go faster, and it made them entirely immune to the changes, because they get hit repeatedly in it.
Yeah, okay.
It does plot, but it was definitely technobabble, the technobabble. I didn't really believe, because, I don't want to get into it, but it didn't make sense to me. But it's a ridiculous situation, right? They're in some magic bullshit, right? So, it's fine, but I was like, put me over a little bit.
Classic for real, though, throws in $5. We only need 4 more $5 super chats, guys. Imagine Bushido Barnes, Australian girl, Mariner, Starbase 80 girl. How do we make it happen? There's sexy anime Starscream. I want sexy anime Mariner. Yeah, there is sexy anime Starscream, and it's awful.
Oh no!
Don't do that.
You've looked. You're a fan.
But yeah, sure. Anyway, so we're being fueled by interdimensionality itself. The results will be unpredictable.
Right.
It doesn't really explain what it's doing, but that's fine.
No.
And then this is where the quantum decoupling happens. Our superpositions are decoupling.
Now, we didn't mention this in our review or any discussions. How do you feel at this moment? And it?
I wish there was an explanation for it. That made sense, but it's a cool visual. And then, yes, because the explanation is whatever we do on this ship is affecting the other ship. So then the science besties have to work together to do the thing to bring them back together. It was very quick. Visually awesome. Like, I imagine being high and watching this. It'd be trippy. I don't know. But I thought it was fine. I had no issues with this at all.
Personally, I think it was over the top. As in, we've just had enough stuff. This felt insanely tacked on, and like you say, it appeared and went away as soon as it appeared. This was entirely just to give Tilly and Tendi a close to their arc that they were already fine on from last week.
Another very anime split screen. Science besties!
Which was funny, but I didn't... This, for me, felt like, right, we're going over... We're just doing too much. This was not needed. I didn't really understand it. You didn't get the sense there was 2 crews. I certainly didn't.
No.
Or even, there's a really great Rick and Morty episode where they copy each other, and they make different choices, and every, 10 seconds, the screen actually shifts, and every version of the scene is then different dialogue, and it's very confusing on purpose until they have to recombine. And it's an amazing idea. It's really wonderfully done. This, to me, had none of that. I want to see 2, I didn't get it. They did not convey it to me in a way that I understood or appreciated. I just wish they cut this bit because it was unnecessary and extra, and I knew there was science messages didn't need that. So
it's also hard to kind of hear the dialogue in this scene. I found the first time, but it's Tendi and Tallinn are talking. Today's chaos has driven us apart, but that's when we need to be the most in sync. Relinquish control. Trust each other.
even though the Vulcan isn't known for having a gut like that.
Before we had to prove ourselves, now we unite as science besties.
But you just have to prove yourself, though. Why would you not? Yeah, this was definitely. But things Neil's mentioned this in our first review. This, and I forgot it existed. This scene will, for me, will disappear as soon as we've talked about it because it's so meaningless.
Yeah, and actually, it's so quick too. That's the point, I think.
Yeah, I just didn't need this. I would have gone straight to mocked because they keep introducing new problems. For me, instant cut, save the money, do something else with the money. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Like I said, I thought it would have been better when he fueled or got the interdimensionality powering the ship. Would have been cool if the ship just, and you saw like a fleet of all the different versions of the Cerritos we saw, and maybe a few other ones that were like kind of a bunch of different realities, and then they all come together. I think would have been better.
Well, Mr. Captain says why he thought it was going to try and do it was like the two Voyagers, but it wasn't. We didn't see two different crews.
Yeah,
they were. I don't know what it's trying to be, but I think that's what you just said, Stuart, was really clever. If every ship that we'd just seen all reappeared, all with different boimlers and whatevers. But then that's not what the scenario was, though, because it was our crew being moved, like their matter being changed. They couldn't have been 9 versions. That wouldn't have worked either. None of it really made sense because I don't know. But I would. You're right.
Looking for cool visuals. Fleet of Cerritoses from different universes.
And just what we saw. Yeah.
Classic for real, $5. The Cali class is a modernized Miranda class, but now it's been $5-ized. Also, bump up the Rainforest ship. Oh, that's like 2 slides up now at this point.
Wow. I mean, has there ever been a better ship of Discovery at this point? Now, I think Classic is telling us that it must be.
And Classic for real again with another $5. We're only 2 more super chats away from that goal, guys. You'll see confetti when you hit it. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully.
Static Beard Chakotay also brought up a good point. Where are the lower deckers on USS Shenzhou? The bridge is on the bottom of that. Oh my god. Yeah. When he said a bridge on the bottom, I thought of the Shenzhou immediately. I just didn't say it.
No, that's what I was going for. Yeah.
But
okay, I've got the chat now on my phone. So when we get the goal, hopefully I can see what happens. So I'd like to see what happens. So guys, we 2 more. Got 5-minute timer. Oh, that's dramatic. It's like 24.
Oh, it's countdown. Oh
yeah.
My God.
Oh. Got 2 more.
Dramatic. And William Boimler was clean shaven, I noticed. Yeah, at the end he had taken because they had gone over the starbase, they had time, he shaved. It was just 5 o'clock shadow he had in the last episode.
Yeah. He was like Homer, he hadn't shaved that morning. Yeah, needed a confrontation between those two. So
they try sealing the rift, and it doesn't work. And that's when Malora comes on board the bridge, and he's like, "I'm on my farm." And it's like, really? Now is the time for a story? And you can't redirect the river to save your crops. You can build a dam, and then that gives Mariner an idea.
So how do you feel about this scene?
What in particular?
Oh, just this scene. I mean, the idea of this closing and the visuals and the...
I think it's great. It's a little confusing, and for Mariner to just jump over the console to do it herself.
That's a big, tall jump, that is.
Yeah.
Which I hadn't even thought of, actually.
It's fine. It's very, very typical Mariner, honestly. But, it worked. Ooh, the Wary Knight has joined the channel at the rank of Ensign. Thank you, Wary Knight. I'm sorry you're wary. You can sit back, relax, and rest up while you're here.
But are you now the Wary Ensign Knight, or Wary Knight Ensign, or the Ensign Wary Knight? Where are you putting the Ensign rank in your title? Thank you, though. Thank you. That really helps. And if you enjoy Low Decks, we've got many videos coming out in the coming days and or weeks. So this scene...
Oh, there we go. We hit it. No, we didn't.
Nope.
Yes, we did.
Got 3 minutes left. Got one more to get.
We got Classic for reals. All I see is the countdown timer there. Oh, it does say one more when you click it. Yeah.
One more. 2 minutes.
Classic for real, $5. Okay, fine. We have a timer, I guess. Ugh. Bump up the Rainforest ship.
Rainforest ship is the best ship in all Discovery.
All of Trek at this point. It's going through all the other pages that we had of
Classic. Next time we ever do a... This is remember this, okay? This is just for you.
2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Next time we do a ship ranking, if you say the Rainforest ship, it will automatically got 3 spots whenever we say because you're 3, okay? We'll give that to you because you just put 3 in. So if it's the best ships of all time, it'll go up with 3.
And Mark Lawrence, the good guy he is, just gifted 10 more Trekyards memberships. So
loads of people.
21 new members on this live, by the way. So thank you guys.
Goodness.
So I'd like to welcome Silly Gengoose.
Okay.
Ahova Harry.
Okay.
Sentient Ironheart.
Cool.
Darth Cisco. James
wow.
Levent Taskin. Matthew Mahler. Fisher 2000. Thomas M. and Dougito. Welcome to the channel, guys. That was awesome. There we go. We got it. Classic for real, $5. Fleet Paw or Olivia should be doing this. How much can I even bump up the rainforest ship? P.S. How's Dot? She's okay. She was... Actually, she's not here. That's weird. Yeah, she was just a little bit kerfluffled last night. So she's feeling better.
Well done, guys. We hit the goal. I didn't see anything happen. Did anyone see anything happen?
I didn't see anything happen.
I mean,
somebody's spamming us with 100% stuff. Oh, there's Dot. Hey, how you doing? They're asking how you are.
Oh, yeah. Wow, guys. Very cool. Fist bump to you all. Fist bump. Fist bump. Fist bump. I'm not punching. I'm fist bumping.
Lower decks. Lower decks.
Now commission mid decks. Now commission mid decks.
Yeah, my favorite part of this scene though was when she actually like hits the thing to turn it on. That was great. That's another classic meme in the making right there.
So as I was trying to say, I like the scene, but it looks great. But you're right, it's a bit confusing. I don't know why the beam's not working, given they said it should be easy. They don't explain that. I don't know suddenly, or whatever his name is, came to the bridge out of the blue, given he was told by Thingy to stay behind. It's been minutes. I don't know why he's on the bridge. There's no reason, just is. Whatever. And in theory, the turbolift shouldn't be able to send non-staff personnel to the bridge. It's meant to be locked, authorized people only, and it's letting the civilian get up the bridge. Just saying, that doesn't really work.
Cali class. Who cares?
Fair enough. But that doesn't make sense either. And Mariner, in 7 button presses, changed the beam to an unknown thing that stabilized the anomaly into a wormhole circle thing. I have no idea how any of that happened. They don't try and explain it. Like, zero explanation.
We didn't need a technobabble explanation. I kind of loved the way it just kind of flowed together and was done, and we have a doorway all of a sudden. It's like, okay, cool.
I was just unsatisfied by it because it was a lot of bullshit visually. Because what the hell is this portal? It's very distinct. It's not just like a hole in space. It's a really cool sci-fi book cover in the making, right? I don't get it. The fact I don't get it.
The beam turned from blue to yellow. That's important.
5 button presses.
That's the change.
And a button slap. It's that easy.
You just change the spectrum. It's fine.
Maybe we should reverse the polarity of the neutron flow.
Well, that's funny. You said that at the exact same time that Scottish Nightmare put it. She reversed the polarity of the neutron flow.
English humor! Yes! Did not read that. Yes, Scottish! We did it! Yay, jokes. Big anomaly, though. I mean, this thing, we talk about later in the episode and our review. If this is a portal between realities, the fact that the middle, which is where they go through, is like 6 Callies tall, and the Callie is really big, this thing can fit a Borg cube, probably. Well, not a Borg cube. Well, Borg sphere. Pterodactyls, right? A Dominion battle. This is a big rift.
Yeah, it's just a new wormhole. Like,
yeah, 100%.
So it can probably accommodate a ship any size. Honestly, it probably expands if it needs to.
Well, it depends.
But it's very cool looking.
First. Thank you.
The rift is stable, but it's permanently open.
Damn.
Wait, did we just save the fucking universe?
Yeah. It's got a big deal, so yeah. You're allowed to celebrate. Go for it. The hug's quite cute. And then a hard cut to, we assume, a day or so later. And I like the fact this is just every hero ship that they've ever brought into Lower Decks. Vancouver, for the first time in years, it feels like the Vancouver class has appeared. 2 Callies, because why not?
Well, the Parliament class.
Sorry, what did I say?
Vancouver class.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Which was the first Parliament class we saw, so you just associated with that.
We got the Titan, because it's the blue one, and we got the Enterprise E with wrong engines, but that's okay. But yeah, the actual Enterprise E, and it's there, and we never do anything with it. And it's a Chekhov's gun of problematic proportions, but whatever, I guess.
The Enterprise will take credit. Yep, probably.
Yeah, well, it would have been so fun if they'd said Captain Worf is the first one in the expedition, and that's how his ship got destroyed, because he went through a dimensional rift and something bad happened. That'd have been cool. Well, can you imagine if at the end of this episode they announced the Captain Worf movie as a sequel to this episode? It's like, what? Welcome, Michael Dorn reprising his role. What? That would be great.
So Mariner's friend gets command of Raga's fleet, which I thought was all destroyed, but okay.
Yeah, they had 4 and they all got killed, but
3 left just now. Like the Klingons are on their way back to Kronos, so I assume there's at least 3 ships left. He's on one of them.
Or probably they can more rationale that there's 1 ship left and the other 2 picked him up because it was damaged. Because I think every ship was destroyed except 1. Well, how do you feel he got captain with a boob window officer, which is good?
Very happy.
But he didn't want captain. And is that his brother to the right in new armor? Oh, it is. Oh,
yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Is
that? I think that Klingon lady might be the lady that he met in the bar.
Light to manifest power. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is definitely feels like a time jump. Because. But good for him, I guess, even though he didn't want to be captain anymore. And it was his brother who had the honourable way of solving the problem, not him. He had 0 impact in the story at all.
And Raj says, is that impulse engines on the nacelles of the Sovereign class? Unfortunately, yes. The red glows that shouldn't be there, which is what he meant by wrong engine.
They made a mistake.
Yeah. That's fine.
But beautiful shot of the E as you go by it. And that's really nice. That's classic texturing. And you can read it E. That shows how they could look in lower decks. If you look at these Cerritos compared, it looks significantly worse a ship, a model, than the E. Which shows how good they could look. It actually shows that they should do a lower deck style, like, serious movie. Because it holds up really nicely, like, full quality. That's great.
Before we start breaking down the ship, though, hold on. I just want to talk about the voiceover here.
Oh, yes.
Starfleet considers it a gate to a whole new frontier.
Mm.
The increased tachyon density means no modern starbase.
Yes.
Can be stationed nearby. But something, and I love that it's also, the starbase is being moved. It's surrounded by a force field. That's great.
Yeah. Warp tractoring, which I had done to get here.
Now I'm going to look at the Enterprise. Sorry. I didn't notice it was the Enterprise the first time. I saw it the second time.
I mean, beautiful texturing. It really is. Which actually, oh, I never thought that. Assuming you take this as full visual canon, the fact this looks like a first contact text job means that's not Nemesis anymore, which has all the dark black. Because I ignore Nemesis when I do my fan films. That anything post is I prefer just the clean look of the grey first contact, and this is not the Nemesis style. That's clearly there's a few plating which is a bit confusing. Like it's. I feel that's just the model I have. I feel that's just the licensed model. It's really good. Yeah, Starbase 80. How do you feel about Starbase 80 being the official...
That was great. It became one of the most important starbases in the Federation at this point because of this gateway. And I love that it's also being towed by other Kali-class ships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a nice... touch. But it's so funny that the first black female captain in Star Trek is now running the station at the wormhole to the next great generation of exploration, the multiverse. Deep Space Nine 2!
She's not the first female black captain.
Hero black captain, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as one of these of a show, but that's like it's like I saw as a comment like one of the like it's such a setup for DS9 too.
Yeah.
Like it's right there. It's amazing how
a junky old mining station becomes the most important.
Yeah.
Defense part of the
Because the way you said that, I was like, oh, that's totally DS9 too.
Yeah.
But this thing is broken. The station.
Well, it's going to get fixed. It's going to be
exactly.
And like I said in our review, this is setting up Star Trek Online is like, yes, because now they're going to have this. You're going to be able to go visit it. You can probably do missions in different realities. You're going to see the starbase there. You're going to be able to visit Starbase 80. It's going to probably get updated over the course of time, especially now that Admiral Freeman's on board.
Yeah, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah, I mean, people, even just the video game industry, should be salivating at this. They've got a awesome station with TOS sets.
Yeah.
Which is fan service, unlimited uniform variants, which is fan service, a portal with unlimited potential, and if you want it, wow, a Defiant class docked at the station as your permanent guard ship. That's confusing. How cool, like DS9. Which is a great ship as well that can land, and all the assets exist. I mean, this is prime real estate. I don't want to do a fan film on it. That's ridiculous. Stop making me do fan films, guys. But boy, this is a Pandora's box of possibility. And it will definitely be in comics.
The mission, explore strange new realities with a little help of some familiar friends. Let me see the Anaximander come through. We see all the legacies from the last episode, none of which had lines in this one, but that's fine. I think I liked it focused on the lower decks crew. But, yeah. Cassia still runs the base.
I'm glad they clarified, because I like that.
But when it comes to exploring the multiverse, Starfleet wanted their best. Right, another pan over of the Enterprise to supervise the missions going into the Rift, and there's Carol Freeman.
I'll be honest. I thought there was a setup here for a joke. Starfleet's best cuts inside, and you got an actual good captain, and Freeman's going to assist. Because not once would I have given her the credit of being one of Starfleet's best. Sorry.
Ooh. The Scottish Nightmare says, Ransom should have gone since he's a slider. Fuck yes. That would have been great. And have...
God.
Oh, yeah.
Or Scott Bakula could have come back. Shifting between universes. This does, though... Thank you. See, there was a reason for that joke. But this does actually...
If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm sorry.
But this also does give us an unlimited excuse to bring back Strange New Worlds reference crossovers.
Yeah.
It wouldn't necessarily be our universe, but... I mean, if they'd done a season 6, then having a Strange New Worlds Connie come through the portal and meet up with our crew... There's now no struggle in that, right? Would have been the easiest thing possible to have that as a crossover to the reverse. Yeah.
I love when Tiana hugs her though, and it gives a little like meow sound. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, once you buy this kind of nonsensical she's in charge, it's a genuinely sweet ending for her character. Like it's nice. Yeah. It's just, huh? And also, had they not planned this as the end, there's a radical paradigm shift season 6. So I'm not really convinced this is how they intend to end it, because it does feel like such a radical thing to do. As one of the many changes now about to happen, right? But it is lovely poetic, and it felt like a payoff that in episode 1, she was so traumatized by the knowledge that a version of her was punished by going to Starbase 80, and now, only 10 episodes later, she's proudly standing as the commander of an expedition. That felt wonderfully poetic because they've earned that just by. That was nice. I really liked that setup and payoff.
Yeah. This is, and it is a nice send off, especially between Mariner and her. It's like when you first showed up, I didn't think you'd last a week, but
neither did I.
Yeah. Now I'm proud to say you don't need me, and it's my turn to go on an adventure.
Which is fair. She's been not coasting, but this has not been challenging for a bit.
The dad shows up. What? No one to carry my bags? This isn't a Galaxy class, Dad. But I'm an admiral. What does that mean? Your arms don't work? It's such a funny family dynamic.
Jesus, Mariner, help your goddamn dad. He's a goddamn admiral. Jesus, Mariner.
And then the whole, is there golf? No, you're hitting the gym, buddy.
Harsh. He's not fat. Is he wearing a fanny pack? He is, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
Oh, Delta
Starfleet fanny pack.
You can now go to conventions with that. Jesus
He's a
Christ.
typical dad. He's got the dad bod. He's carrying all the luggage. He's got the fanny pack.
It's so interesting as a concept, though, that he's so unbusy that he can do this mission, but also it's an important mission. But I just love the fact that we don't need this as a thematic end, but right from episode 1, we thought, are these guys on the rocks? All that implied not funness. So I love that, all said and done, they can finally hang out. Even if it's only for a couple of years, or a year, or 6 months, it's like, good. Give their goddamn marriage some time to hang out. They deserve it. Yeah. It was very nice.
And Team Annex says, yes, they had plans for a season 6. Trek Culture's latest Lower Decks video has a link to the interview where Mike McMahon talks about what they had planned. Well, we planned to have Mike McMahon on at some point to talk about stuff as well, so keep your eyes out open for that. We've talked to him a few times. Yeah, we're going to talk to him about this kind of stuff. So, yeah, so here we go. I love putting. I love you too. I mean, this is the whole reason I want to do this. We could spend more time together, but
it's nice.
I love golfing.
It's good. And they haven't got holodecks, so if there's no golf course, you ain't doing that.
Next time we see this place, it's probably gonna have a mini putt or like an actual golf course.
Or you would think,
and beside the bowling alley.
Yes. But you would think Admiral Freeman could, requisition a holodeck to be installed, given he's an admiral.
Oh, the station's going to be upgraded and cleaned up.
But it can't be too much, though, because they can't, the tech-wise. There is lovely limitations on that in the story.
Yeah, I want to see the TOS tech all nice and new and polished, and then, like, right beside it, like, an actual, like, new kind of replicator or something. Yeah.
Although it'd be kind of charming if they say, based on the chronotons, whatever nonsense they said, they can only go as far as, like, Star Trek 6 tech before it starts breaking. So they can only go up to
that'd be kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah, or like they can go up to 2297 tech. That's it. So we got holodeck version of 1, and it's like black and white and really crap. It's like it's as good as we can get, guys.
It's called the environmental simulator, not a holodeck.
Yeah, that'd be season 6. No, and I love the fact that we have a cameo of the lady because she's so good in the episode, and it's a lovely cameo episode. And this is what I always say to you, Stuart: have them goddamn record their cameos when they film the men episode, because they didn't bring her back in the booth for this, like hell they did. But really good to see her. It really added something to get the full feel. And then back on the bar.
And Rutherford shows up. And I knew something was up with this the way he was standing.
Sorry to interrupt. I just noticed that the Turban guy's a commander. Full commander. So he outranks Shax, which means he's the head of engineering, or... Because you can't be commander without being head of something. Otherwise, D only had like 3 commanders. So he's a full...
Necessarily. Maybe he just got promoted. Maybe he's going to be going over to Starbase 80.
Well, that's fine, sure. But that's a big thing, because, like... Is Bill a commander? He's... okay. That's probably a mistake. They didn't realise they did that.
But yeah, with the way Rutherford was standing, I'm like, oh, he's going to... either have a new, smaller implants, or Oculus or something. But no, he's legit just Rutherford.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
It does feel like out of nowhere because he loves his implant. He looks great without it. And it's a very cute scene. And given that, like I said, we're closing out everything, the fact that we reignited their romance subplot in a nice way, it was cute, nice, effective, simple, take it anywhere you want. Yeah, it was a nice little close to this arc, and it was cute.
Yeah, he says engineering should be twice as exciting now that I don't have cybernetics hooked up to my melon. It feels weird to be so organic though. Ew.
Yeah, like now I'm a worse engineer. It'll be more fun.
Yes.
That's what he said. Fair. Yeah.
And then this is where Tindy compliments him, says he looks very handsome, which he blushes. And yeah, emotions are pretty intense without a dopamine inhibitor, huh? Oh no, we're just... And then Tillin's like, I wasn't aware of your romantic feelings. So, no, we're just friends. Oh, I feel... My head feels hot. Are you sick? And she like... Oh, my goodness.
Yep. It was good. I like it. No complaints. It was a good little scene.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of drinks. Oh, there's a... Why is there a bug in...
A jar, I don't know. Could be future tequila. It could also not be a drink. It could be like a beaker science thing they're working on or something. I don't know.
What a weird detail to include that is entirely...
It probably means something to somebody. I just don't get it. Is that the slime they were supposed to study?
No, that's later.
Yeah, because he says we got to go talk to some sentient slime later.
But then you get... I can't imagine this was not in the original script, because this is such an end-of-franchise speech. Like, the tone of Marina's thing is so... I'm the lead character. I'm going to wax poetical about people who we know most of, and it feels nice, and this is a really good little scene. And feels definitely an additional reshoot kind of thing. How many people can we include and what sets, and... What would you say? 'Cause it's a really sweet little...
Well, it's great, yeah. It definitely feels like it was written for a season's series finale, so... but yeah, it's like the other transporter clone Boimler sent us this because he knew we kick ass. Not just us, but the whole crew of the Cerritos' amazing officers. And I love the montages here. Poor Goodgie gets zapped to be Badgie face anyway for a second.
Just for a second, though.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, there are lots of ships in the fleet which are bigger, fancier. They have engineering sections that are attached to the main part of the ship.
Yep.
And honestly, those crews are way more professional. Yep. Hey, I should know. I've been kicked out of half of them.
Truth.
But this thing we do doesn't require perfection. And I love this. Remember the guy that ascended to the great with the great?
So that was him then.
Yeah, he comes back. At first I was like, what the fuck just happened? Oh, it's just the Cerritos. Who cares? But then, yeah, during my first reaction, it's like, that's the guy that ascended. He's back. And he looks absolutely terrified.
I see the great koala. I see the... Yes. Crazy.
So, yes. S1 Anwar, he is the guy that ascended in season 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Season 1.
Oh, okay.
Right at the start. He was our great koala guy. As in, like, knowing it was important subplot.
Nobody on the Cerritos is even close to perfect. We're a mishmash of people and various creatures that don't fit in anywhere else. But we're a family. And then they got the Samuel Clemens thing.
Well, I don't recognize the people in that scene, though. Did you?
Well, the blue guy is...
Oh, the blue guy. Sure.
Yeah, the other guy I think might be Tal guy. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know who's sitting down.
Yeah.
I don't know. We believe in the mission and each other. My mom might be gone, but she handpicked this crew. This is also awful. The girls around a table lighting the ghost sex candle.
Look, some girls be lonely, okay?
Okay, moving on.
Great hero shot of the team. Very nice.
It's fantastic, yeah.
As then we get the epilogue kind of thing. We just had the wax and poetic. Now we get into the stupid of the show again. Intentional.
Yeah, I set my bed on fire. Is it still burning?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kicked the computer, but it's all out of the system.
I guess she had... Well, no, she says maybe it is, and maybe I gotta... We'll see next time. Ha 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 ha. Stay tuned, I think she says. Which is definitely very like, stay tuned for next season. Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
And then Captain on deck. You got Captain Ransom.
Now, how did that feel? Because I was not expecting that.
I liked it. I like the actor. I like the character. Yes, he's a bit of an idiot, but that's perfect for a Cali class ship. Let's be honest. And I love how he messes with people. She told me not to let you detonate the warp core. Oh, unless you're good. And then a little birdie told me that you made some pretty inspired updates to plasma injectors. Was it Dr. Miglamo? Yes, little birdie.
Yep, we have a bird. It's that bird. Yes, that was pretty. I mean, none of these jokes were great jokes, but they all like added to the silliness of the scene. Yeah, and I didn't really love. I don't know who would have replaced Ransom with, but like I said, given the fact that I complained so hard about him 2 episodes ago, this felt really odd. And especially if you knew he was going to be captain, I would think you'd do better choices with him throughout the season to show he's a good captain, and they did not do that.
You complained about him, and I kind of fought for him.
Yeah.
So.
But as I said this morning, hopefully he no longer, because you cannot be a lower decker friend when you are the captain. You've now lost that tie to that. Whereas in the time I complained, it's because he was acting like a lower decker in the brain to make them work together. He can't fall asleep on the bridge pretending to be asleep to get them to do what he says. So hopefully he'll now grow up and be a very different character from now on. Because he can't be who he was, angry captain. It will never work. Ever. So I'm hopeful in season 6. Oh. But give him a chance. And hey, that means that the actor can now go to cons and say, can I sign Captain Ransom?
Yeah. And he outranks his wife. But she's still only a first officer.
That's true. And he's now the second Ransom in Starfleet. Hopefully he won't butcher an alien race like his
cousin.
Yeah.
And then there's the weird, hey, Jack. Oh, is this going to be weird? It's like, okay, I know you've kind of had this weird kind of relationship a little bit, but this just kind of annoyed me a little bit. Nah, your Cerrito's strong. And it's like, Boimler, huddle up with us. We're not doing coach talk. So they're leaving without a first officer because he's like, I need a first officer. Yeah, but I'm only a lieutenant junior grade. I know you're not quite ready, but the two of you have a chance of making it work as provisional first officers. So they have dual first officers and dual chief science officers on the ship, and none of them are the quite appropriate rank.
Or even half the rank they should be.
Yeah.
They're one up from ensign. What are they doing? But it's a Cali. It's a crappy ship with a crappy crew. You don't do this. They should at least lieutenant junior grades. Lieutenant commanders. 3.5, not 2.5, not 1.5. Didn't buy it. Didn't believe it. Thought it was dumb. But this is the sort of thing that if this was a season 6 planned, they'd be undone with episode 1. It'd be one of those classic Mighty Man.
Yeah.
They do a really big thing and they both break the universe in different ways.
They'd probably get assigned a new first officer and a new character.
Yeah, that's
or somebody we've seen before or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I took it, right? Because it does make sense, and I think any captain would have a problem with this, and you know, just doesn't work.
Yeah, think of it as a contest. Please don't do this; it'll mess up our friendship.
Which is funny, but dumb. But he's a dumb captain, so it's very in keeping with the show, even if dumb.
Subraxis throws in £10. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, El Capitan, Stuart, a.k.a. Stuart, and El Comandante Cockings. Thanks for reviewing Lowered Dicks. Wow, thanks, Subraxis. If you want to share super chats like that, make sure you tune in tomorrow.
Yes.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be hanging out for a few hours in the afternoon talking about Lower Decks because it's over now. We're going to kind of reminisce and maybe go through some of the seasons and talk about it.
And it's a Drunkyards, so
and it is a Drunkyards.
It'll get more silly.
Yeah.
And it's our last big live for Christmas, so be there. I'm excited, yeah. I mean, I definitely want to go in and look at all Lower Decks again and discuss it randomly and maybe even do a ranking, like a reaction ranking. So I'd love to like look back at the whole season and say how do things compare, and I think it'd be really interesting if you guys are into that. I want to super chat for things. It'd be very, very interesting.
Scottish Nightmare joke should have been that Michael Dorn joins the cast.
For that one episode, that's the scene. And the next episode, he's back on DS9 or something. That would have been so funny. What the hell are you doing here, Mr. Worf? I've joined the crew. Oh, that would have been the best joke.
I'm just kidding. I just needed a ride.
Yeah. And yeah, he starts in TNG uniform with and then at the end he's in Sirius uniform for one scene. And that's, and now he's in a different division again. He's like gone back to gold for no reason. That would have been really funny. Oh. Yeah.
And Tim McCaffrey should have been Harry Kim becoming first officer.
Oh, well, no, he deserves better than Callie. That's a good joke, but he does deserve better than Callie. That's funny.
Do you think they will do a movie with Lower Decks crew, animated or live action? Yes, I believe they will. They will do something with them. Don't worry.
Well, they do comics.
Yes, but I'm sure we will get a movie at some point down the road here, and yeah, I'm sure that one of the two of the characters might even show up in live action in some form. So,
I'm not sure, but I'd like to think they did. They would. Obviously, Paramount's been bought. All that's changing. Obviously, the views haven't been enough for this show to warrant another season. Otherwise, if it was a big success, they would. It hasn't been, but you'd like to think the new owners of the property would commit something soon.
You know what I just thought? Maybe the turban guy that became commander is his actual first officer, and he's just messing with these guys.
I'd be fine with that.
Maybe
as well.
he got promoted, and we got a hint of it, but no confirmation.
I'd be totally fine with that. Yeah, that'd be cool. But then you get onto the station with, I guess, is the bridge, because there's a, like, this is a set you can't tell what it is, but I love the fact that it's still got the red banister, and Boimler's still a captain. Section 31 captain, I guess. Don't think about it. And everyone's there. Don't think about it. Are they going home? Don't think about it. Although no Kim? Is there a Kim in the scene? No,
I
no
don't
Kim.
think so.
Boimler's nervous as hell, and Mariner is relaxing in the chair.
He's kind of pissed a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they were finally having a good time. They finally found balance, and now... Oh, dear. That's what I mean. This is such a radical shift of the chemistries from the previous 5 seasons. We're in a weird top next season.
I just love this closeout. It's like, what should be my go to warp line? Oh, it'll just come naturally. Ooh, I got one. Engage the core.
No. Say it right.
Engage the core.
He's like, go for it. Yeah.
Don't you dare go to warp on a workout joke. Nope, I'm sorry. I like it. It's staying.
Oh, is that what it is? It's a workout joke? Oh, I hadn't caught that.
Yeah, engage the core muscles.
Oh, I just thought warp core. Oh, that's clever then. I didn't get that. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Come on, you're better than this. Don't do this.
That's a good joke.
No, please don't make this our lives, sir. I know it's fantastic. Come on, you don't want to set that tone. Sir, what if this is a 5-year mission? Engage the core. It's fucking epic. Because it started with the coach talk. Come, Boimler, come huddle up with us. Oh, no coach talk. So, yeah, engaging the core is awesome. It's very clever.
Yeah, no, I had no idea that's what it was, and that's actually a very clever. Well, the fact that it works on several ways is like, oh, genius.
Yeah,
perfect. And it's genuinely is a makes you smile end.
Yeah,
it's both, for me personally, it had a closing feel, like enough had changed for it to be that's the end of the show, but also enough had changed that you could then come back in with a bang and then bring us something new. It's a very good both, which is actually really hard to do, really hard to do. So I commend them for that.
Mark Lawrence, slide me. Yep. Okay. So there you go.
Oh dear. That's how I feel about that. All right, Stuart, we are now at the end of the episode. So what do the fine people out there, have to do now? This is important, guys. This is your last chance, possibly ever, for Lower Decks.
Okay, I want 2 things done. You guys, first of all, have to hit like, which you already have. I want 3 things done in that case. I also want you to super chat in with your score out of 10 for this episode. And super chat in for your score out of 10 for series finale. Because this is definitely up there as far as a series finale goes, and a good send-off. So I want 2 scores out of you guys. Super chat in. I will read the super chat scores when we are done our closeout and our numbers, our ranking. And if you just put them in the regular chat as well, so I'll read those when we're done. But we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear what your thoughts are. A couple super chats at the end would be amazing.
That climactic file note would be absolutely perfect.
Set 5. Set a new goal of 5 new super chats.
Yeah, that sounds...
$5 super chats to close us out, I think, would be good.
Yeah.
In like 10 minutes or something. Because, yeah, we got another 11 minutes-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do a 10-minute one, and then...
5 is good.
All right. There's a new goal. $5 super chats to help us out, so please do so.
Yeah, very nice. Okay. So, Stuart, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Captain, but you can call me Stuart, I guess.
So, based on our full long discussion, how do you now feel about the episode? Do you like it more or less, etc.? How do you feel?
I feel fantastic. I haven't been this energized doing a review of in a while. Our discussion didn't necessarily change anything for me. I mean, we definitely had some good things to discuss, and you pointed out a few things that I didn't notice, which made me appreciate some things, I guess. I can't recall specifically what they are right now. At the time, I was like, I got to remember this, but I just don't. Anyway. No, it's a fantastic episode. Really fun. It's uplifting. I love the longer length of it as well. I think everybody got a nice send-off. Everybody had something to do, which was great. There are a few holes here and there. Like, I wish that we would have got the Dax symbiont thing resolved in some way. As you had said earlier, have one or two, like, post-credit sequences would have been fantastic. Mike McMahon said he kind of left the door open for future stuff or continuity, and that's absolutely what he did. But again, having one or two scenes which could add would be fantastic as well, and not take anything away from the episode we just saw. You know, as you had said, if we had saw Captain Riker and Captain Worf sitting at that bar and just having a conversation about something would have been neat. It just had to be like 20 seconds long, would have been nice. Just something.
Well, and in fact, it's even kind of odd that they said, and as you said several times, the amount of legacy is going to blow your mind. They're all in one episode, and Data. That's not remotely what we were contextually promised, right? That's the opposite of what I was expecting. Just saying. Yeah. So this would have felt like, okay, we've got enough legacies, right? Having Worf and Riker in that bar, sorry to interrupt briefly while you're on it, having that scene, how it should have ended Team Do, always end of their jokes, they always have the superhero bar with Superman and Batman, and just that with Freeman. That concept, for a minute, that's it. Boom, done. Would have been enough.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely this is a treat for Trekyards because all of the ships, the single nacelle thing, the description of the single nacelle can go to war, that kind of stuff is fantastic. Because I think they're making up for what they did like two or three episodes ago with the Cordry rocks in the ceiling, which annoy the shit out of me. But anyway, no, lots of really great stuff here. I love seeing all the different variations of the Cerritos, the different ships that we know and love, as well as some new ones. Was fantastic. The Klingon Bird of Prey, great. Even side characters like her Klingon friend got a little resolution as well, which was fantastic. Freeman's getting back together at the end, great. Starbase 80 becoming a pivotal part of this is awesome as well. It's no longer the worst posting in Starfleet. And literally, like, it's a place for second chances. You have an alternate reality door right next door, so you can see what your alternate reality self's doing and improve your life by stealing their pad and growing a beard and being much cooler than you actually are. That's the lesson we learned from all this, don't you know? But anyway, I could. By the way, if we ever go back to Starbase 80, I could see it being manned by like Harry Kim's. It's just the Harry Kim station at that point. Would be hilarious. Anyway, no, it's a really great episode and a beautiful series finale. So I'm on cloud 9 with this. So,
and we got ships, which is not by any means a foregone conclusion. Yeah. So once again, thank you for giving us our sort of content to enjoy and appreciate, and they're all given the sort of hero vibe of, like, you know, you felt like you were celebrating Trek by bringing those ships in, felt like something. Yeah. So thank you for putting that effort in. I appreciate it.
And so score-wise for this one, for me, for this season, is going to be a 9.9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this immensely. For all of Lower Decks, this is a 9.8 out of 10. And for series finale, I'll go with a 9.4 out of 10.
But in that metric, what does this beat? Because that's more like if there's 9 slots of series finale, where does it fit?
This is right at the top. I think it's probably one of the best, if not the best, series finale. Trying to remember.
I mean, does it beat All Good Things?
It's on par with that, so it's pretty much tied with All Good Things.
I mean, there's nothing better than All Good Things, really. So there you go. It's the...
Yeah, they definitely hit that mark, or at least 1 point below All Good Things, let's say. because that was kind of the perfect series finale. So this might be the second best series finale in all of Trek, honestly. I don't know. That's something I'd have to think about and actually kind of.
Yeah.
We might have to do a live on that in the new year.
Yeah. And if it wasn't even intentional as the season finale, well, I think they did change the ending to make it more. Then just because last season wouldn't have been a great season finale, like they've not normally felt that way. This has a certain oomph, a catharsis which works. So either lucky them, or they kind of knew and they were, covering themselves if they were the last. Because you can't get less satisfying than ending a season actually like not feel like an ending. Because you could watch all 5 seasons of Lower Decks and feel like you've watched the intended story, give or take, right? There's a Mariner got from renegade to good officer, like that's kind of the overall arc, and enough of that journey happened to allow us to believe that the captain, who was the last vestige of letting her have a second chance, left, right? So that and her and Ransom butting heads, that journey has now happened fully, so that's why it feels cathartic.
You made me completely forget what I was going to say.
You're welcome.
That's okay.
But do you want to jump some super chats and I'll do mine, because you guys have absolutely made some big colours there.
Wesley Healy puts in €2
Thank
and
you.
says, "Yeah, cool," but I don't know what you're referring to. So,
thank you.
Andy Ulrich, $50, amazing. Thank you so much.
Helps a lot. Thank you.
9.5 for the episode. Third favorite series finale after TNG and DS9. DS9 I have problems with its ending because it's like 15 endings in one episode. Exactly. It's not. There's no real good ending. Anyway, it's fine. We'll talk about it at some point. But thank you very much for the super chat and the score there. Appreciate that. Mark Lawrence, $10.
Thank you.
I guess it's $10 for a 10 out of 10 for season finale. And I think you mean series finale there as well. They don't get overshadowed by guest stars, and they left the door open for more story while at the same time giving everyone a proper ending. Absolutely. Absolutely. So thank you, guys.
Yeah. But any more, let us know.
Yeah, so feel free, while Sam's talking, to put in more scores. We'd appreciate those. But yeah, anyway, Sam, what did you think, and has our conversation changed anything for you? And I'm interested to see whether this falls for you as far as score-wise for series finale.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we found more flaws in it than I was expecting.
Yeah, but they can be overlooked.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? The episode is so good that its problems are not there because it's only 32 minutes, and they did too much, and they were trying for everything. Like, it's an insane ambition level that had you told season 1 us about this episode, like, what? There's a lot going on, and they almost balanced it all, right? It doesn't work as well in terms of balancing compared to the season 1 Prodigy finale when they measure battle and character stuff better. That was gorgeously paced, but it's a different beast, right? I'm just saying comparatively, this is not that. Like, this has those problems with the random stuff that just happens because they need them in different locations. But as I said when we did our review of this, I already forgot the things I didn't like because the good stuff outshadowed it so much, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Great episode, great follow-up to last week. It was not what we thought we wanted, nor what I thought we deserved. It's what the show deserved. But it was there's definitely loads of missed opportunities for enhancing that. I always do the cake analogy. I like the cake analogy. This is a very, very big and tasty chocolate cake, which has several layers of frosting. No, what's the inner thing called? Between the layers. Is that frosting?
It's frosting between the layers.
Yeah. Several layers of frosting, all the different flavors. Sometimes maybe one bite's a bit too much because it's all a bit confused. There's so much going on that why is a strawberry in one layer and chocolate in another? It mostly works, but think of the overall. There is a lovely sauce on top. There's lovely sprinkles. There's a cherry on top, which is the Discovery Klingon and how they approached it. But you're left eating and thinking, okay, this could have been a little bit. It's like it's missing the sea salt on top, right? That little extra something, which would be the post-credit sequence, or bringing the Kim back, or there's little things you could have done that if you were reading the script from coming in fresh like we are, you could suggest and they could improve it with, versus you're in the episode, you're seeing, look at what we're doing, look at the time effort. Until you finish it, you don't know, right? So it's more what could have been, etc. But very successful season finale. It's only beats Enterprise. Discovery's not a bad season finale, but this is a more doing more than that episode in 30 minutes is impressive, but par for the course. I did prefer it to the Prodigy finale, I think, because that was more focused on the kids. This was more focused on Starfleet, so that worked better, I think. Although that was still good. This thing's better. I think I prefer Voyager because that's a movie. Also,
there's no resolution. It gets home.
Yeah.
Awful.
That's the whole point of the story. They get home. Done. Cool.
I know, but I want to see what happens when they get. Anyway,
you did. It was the first scene, but I think that's a movie, right? That's a really good movie. And they did. It was more impressive for what the time they achieved, right? This is, of course, they can do all this stuff. Like nothing here was impressive in the sense they reuse assets, but very clever. Don't agree with Ransom being kept necessarily. Lots of weird things, but you don't know what season 6 might have done to change the status quo because it's such a radical shake-up. Like for example, they could actually have, and I wouldn't have even blinked if they had a 6-month time jump, and Freeman does something terrible, breaks the universe, and gets put back on the ship as captain. I could have bought that.
That's the beginning of the next season or the next movie.
They absolutely could have done that, and it would not have been a problem. Is it my favorite Lower Decks episode? I don't know, right? Because it's doing. I mean, you had said before we started this, there's not a lot to talk about story perspective wise. Yet we filled over 2 hours because there's small things. There are better stories in Lower Decks, and better told stories because the story here is very simple. It's the fact they do so much that the canvas is so broad
with everyone. A lot of those other good Lower Decks episodes don't necessarily encapsulate all of the characters, all of our mains very well. So
yeah, well, exactly. Sacrifice, the small stuff, the big, various. I would have to rewatch. I'm very intrigued to know other episodes. I mean, Where You Do, of course, is the epitome of what we think of as a good Lower Decks episode.
That's the gold standard. Yeah.
Super different. To have to compare. I still really enjoy the Starbase 80 episode. That's still really good. There's other ones. Score-wise, I mean, obviously in the high 9s. It does so much well. I guess it's not my favourite Lower Decks episode for various reasons, and I think the problem is there's a few genuinely not good scenes that do stick out as a sore thumb second time.
It's definitely my top 5.
Probably, yes.
The way I felt at the end of it and watching it, I just enjoyed the hell out of it. So it might be a personal preference thing, but
that's why this is important to analyse, and there's definitely some actual problem scenes, but they don't overshadow, they just certainly lower it. Last week I gave the episode 9.55. They're super different episodes. That one had the fan service love character stuff.
Yes.
But I do think it's now slightly worse from this week because nothing was paid off. Absolutely nothing. Which makes a lot of stuff vapid.
Yeah.
But this week is better for that because it was well set up. So it's
and no overshadowing of the Lower Decks characters by Legacy.
Exactly. But it probably would lower last week's score?
Maybe slightly, yeah. I can see that.
But this is not worse for it. It's a very odd situation. I'm going to give this one, I think... I'm going to give it a slight end of series bump as well. Because I think that deserves to be taken into account, right?
Yeah.
Going to give it a 9.68.
Clever.
So it is better than my last score by a decent little chunk. But it's not perfect. But that's pretty high for any show.
Yeah. I went a little over the top with my scoring, but I wasn't sure what to score it, so whatever. I really enjoyed it. After having seen it 3 times and reviewed it now, talked about it twice with my first reaction and this.
Yes.
I'm in a really good mood. So.
But also, can I point out, this season is not a very strong season overall. So this is also a skewed score. The 9s are 9ing, and the 5s and 6s be 5 and 6ing. All Lower Decks, I'll go 9.3.
Gotcha.
So a decent chunk down, but not really in the grand scheme, right? But it's still, I think you're right. I think top 5, probably 5 out of the 5 or 4. I think there's probably 3 better that I enjoy more. But this is That would be a really interesting go back and watch and see where this actually is, because yeah.
Yes.
Damn. Okay, what do people think as we start to close out?
We only got one more super chat in.
Everyone's amazing.
2. Classic for real, $2. Haven't seen any of this season yet. Yes, serious. Out of 10. What?
Why?
Okay.
What?
I'm so confused. Mark Lawrence, $5. First mission out of Starbase 80 could be sending the micro-sized Intrepid class ship back home.
Dude, yes! That's awesome. That's the movie. Get Voyager home again.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Yeah. The Voyage home. The Voyager home. Yes.
Yeah, so that's it for Super Chat scores.
All right. Non-Super Chat scores. Let's hope you all put in your scores. I want to know what you all think, because we showered praise.
Before we do that, let's end the poll real quick.
Oh, yes.
How much did you enjoy this episode? 72% loved it. 21% liked it. 4% did not enjoy it, which I don't believe. And 3% thought it was okay or meh.
Wow. But still, 7%, I mean, well on Mike. 93% at least mostly liked it. But this does create an interesting question, though, now we've had so many of them, to not rank as an A to S, but actually score best to worst series finale. So there's actually, there is a number 1, number 2, that would be interesting. How do we judge the different ones? Because there is a few S's, right? But how do you actually do them 1 to, I guess, 11 or whatever? That'd be really interesting.
And Wesley Healy throws in £2 with no comment, but thank you so much. Sorry, euros. €2.
Yes.
Right.
And do join us tomorrow for our drunk yards, where we're going to look at the whole series and get drunk. All right.
Not in any serious technical laid out kind of way. We're just going to reminisce about Lower Decks.
Yeah. And honestly, you might just super chat to say, look at this episode and we'll think about it and talk about it, and that'd be a fun way of doing it, etc. Right, we've got Kevin Scott, 76. 10 out of 10. The Stanleys, 8 out of 10. Donnie, of course, gives 10 out of 10 and 9.75 out of 10 the entire season run. Joseph gives 9.5 out of 10. Marco, I originally had it higher, but as you went through all plot holes, it bumped it down to 9.1, and a finals is an 8.5. Oh no, you bumped down to 9.1. Mike will be so disappointed with a low 9. That one testament to the show, that feels like a problem, right? Only high, only low 9. Ozzy, of course, 10 out of 10, and Mum gets 10 out of 10. Hazard for 10. Getting a few 10s already. Raj was a 9.5 out of 10 and 9.99 out of 10 as a series wrap up. Very cool. Let's have a look. Oh, that's all the scores. Pretty darn high. Pretty darn high. Yeah, it would be interesting to rank our top 5. That'd be difficult.
I need to go back and rewatch, honestly, because
I think we'd have the same top 10 either way. It's just how do we? I think there are definitely 10 best episodes, right? It's just how do we rank those internally to each other.
We might have to do that at some point in the future. So stay tuned, guys. All right. Well, I think we'll call it there. This has been a really fun review, really fun hangout time with you guys. It'll continue tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in. We'll go for a few hours and just hang out and talk about Lower Decks.
It'll be a love fest.
Have some fun. Have some drinks.
I think that's fair. It'll be a nice love fest.
Yeah. So bring your favorite animated beverage and join us. And we will be drinking in real, non-synthaholic alcohol.
And we do have, and as you know, Stuart, we filmed them. We have a lot of videos coming out, a lot of ships, a lot of good
Christmas
stuff.
Presents for you guys is what we're saying.
Yeah, we do not skimp on that. So do check those out. And of course, if you can, share those videos. There is a Discovery Klingon discussion, which I think we both quite enjoyed filming. Do check them out. Support that stuff if you can. And thank you for turning up so much on this live. It makes a huge difference this month and into Christmas. So thank you. You guys are the bomb.
And on that very explosive note, I think we'll call it quits. the bomb. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Until tomorrow or next time that you see us, he's Commander Cockings.
And we've got 2 out of 5, and that's okay. You still get the best ending possible. And he's Scott and Foley.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.